9 to noon on the game. Welcome in. What a Friday. What a day. And we're starting it out hot and heavy. I'm going to be completely honest with you. We have a ton of things to get to, and I don't know when we're going to get to all of it. The best part is it's wide open, and there is so much good stuff to be discussing here. Fallout from the NBA draft, stories that I'll be honest with you, I didn't anticipate this Kyle Filipowski thing being a story in professional sports. I did anticipate Bronny James being a story in the NBA. Didn't think John Kuhn, Armin Sarian, that somebody saying nepotism doesn't exist in sports was going to be one of the big stories coming out of the NBA draft. It was a wild one yesterday. And then, oh, by the way, the nation got a debate yesterday that ultimately turned to a classic sports debate, which we will get into as well, because there's just too much fun stuff on this beautiful Friday. Who said, John Kuhn, the end of June didn't bring you plenty of conversation? We don't even just have to fire off our entertaining takes here today, because they've given us enough things to make entertaining in the world of sports on this beautiful Friday.
Even more than that, you're not getting out of this, Billy. You're not getting out of it. Not seeing the Devil's Advocate. And he got game.
Well, Devil's Advocate is one thing. I
can understand Devil's Advocate because that was coming out right around when I was graduating high school or starting college, right around there. So, Billy, you were probably like 2, maybe.
So this came out in 1998. So I would have been 4.
Listen, I'm not expecting.
So I
you to
get
see
not
it
seeing that
early on. Right.
I get you potentially not seeing that movie, but he got game. That's a sports flick. And that's got Ray Allen in it.
Dude, it's awesome.
And that's got Denzel. And you didn't even know it had Denzel.
Unfamiliar with his game.
That's an epic movie. I cannot believe this is nearly as bad as Steve never watching Field of Dreams.
Major League is what he didn't watch. Sorry.
He probably didn't watch Field of Dreams. I don't believe him.
Now, the thing with Zabe not watching those movies is that was in his era of consciousness. So there's no excuse for that. Billy has an excuse. I mean, these movies came out before his like era of consciousness. I'm not shaming you for not seeing it, Billy. I just want you to see it.
I'll be completely honest with you, though. Not that I didn't see it. It really wasn't even on my radar.
He never even heard of it.
Never had heard of it. I had heard of Jesus Shuttleworth.
Yeah, Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Is Ray Allen in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
No idea what anybody was talking about when they would say it.
I remember.
I just thought that was a nickname they had randomly given Ray Allen at some particular point in time. No clue that was from the movie.
The amount of naivety in this thing for Billy is
massive,
incredible. You heard the nicknames. You had no idea this movie existed. You had no idea Ray Allen was even in a movie.
The thing is, I knew She Got Game was a movie that came out in 2003.
That might have been like it's not a sequel, but like
I don't even know if it has anything to do with it, because I'm pretty sure it's like a rated G movie.
This one's not rated G.
Much different story. No, this is rated R. This seems like something that I'm going to enjoy, though. The coach's name is Billy Sunday. I mean, that sounds like a winner for me.
This is like Blue Chips, but better.
Much better.
You see Blue Chips?
I've seen Blue Chips.
We're talking Blue Chew. What?
Chips, yeah.
Blue Chips.
Blue Chips is with Penny and Shaq.
You haven't seen the movie Blue Chips?
Neon Bordeaux, right, John? Neon Bordeaux.
Yeah.
Billy. Well, I was like, well, listen, I didn't see Raging Bull, John. We have to remember
What's that?
about that was a sports
that was
movie.
Before we were born.
But Billy wasn't. I mean, that's the point.
Blue Chips came out in 94.
98. He was born, but he wasn't. Here's my thing. I remember as a 12-year-old being so excited that Ray Allen was going to be in a movie. I'm like, yes, Bucks.
Yeah, your guy.
Ray Allen, like we're on the consciousness. It was sort of like what was the other Brewers movie? Mr. 3000. We're going to be about
good one. Yes.
Movie about the Brewers. So I'm like, Ray Allen. I did not expect it to be like boom rated R. You can't watch this.
I mean, back then you got a sports movie you were fired up.
Any sports movie I was into.
And I got sports.
So I
got two of the best of I got the best of both worlds right here. A movie and sports.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell me there's a couple athletes in it. And you're going to tell me there's potentially a guy that's going to win an Oscar at some point in time. My gosh.
And when I was a kid, if I'd be sick home from school or something, and I could rent movies or whatever it was, I only wanted to see sports movies. So I would like list every sports movie I knew, and He Got Game was one of them. And like, I'm pretty sure I definitely wasn't supposed to watch that movie, when I was 12 years old. Like I just wasn't.
Yeah, I probably would say no.
Leon
Yeah,
would have been
maybe not,
so
maybe
disappointed in you. How did you watch this movie, Armin? Did you sneak over to a friend's house who somehow got
Honestly,
a
can't remember.
Blockbuster person to
Maybe
illegally rent them the movie for the night?
Hey, it's a basketball movie. Oh, okay. We'll get you the basketball movie.
Then we're in.
It's Air Bud, right?
Yeah,
Nope.
but you remember back in the day, you're
Yes.
renting stuff from Blockbuster.
You had
If
to
it's
be with your
R,
parent. You couldn't
you had
get
to be
no.
with your parent.
Nope, I was with my parents, so I must have seen it. My buddy must have had it, or maybe I saw it later. I really don't remember, honestly. I don't think I watched it initially. I don't think I was able to watch it when it first
Your
came out.
parents didn't allow you.
No.
Leon said,
Nope.
"Oh no!" I
He
need
said
to
no
have a-
chance.
I need to have a talk with you first.
My mom took those ages seriously. If it was PG-13 and I was 12, nope. She took it seriously.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
Grammy didn't give a rip. She had no clue.
Right.
R, PG, X, didn't matter. That thing was in the VCR. Eyes were on it.
Yeah,
I wanted-
movies
Denzel was in it,
movies
too.
were easier for me to skate by. I think once I became like 13, 14,
Right.
then for me it was video games. Video games, if that thing had the M on it,
I'm not sure.
I was gonna have to go play it over generally at one of my buddies' houses.
Yeah, too much blood and
Until I
gunplay.
was in
Yeah.
high school, and then I just bought Call of Duty. And
See,
mom
good
walks
things,
downstairs. I'm like, hey man, sorry, this is gonna happen.
good things come with your kids going out and playing in the backyard. I think because every time I wasn't at a sport, I was outside playing with friends until it was 30 minutes past dark. I think
Sure.
being out of the house so much meant when I was in the house, it wasn't a big deal. There wasn't going to be a whole lot of rules laid down because I didn't drive her
Okay.
nuts from being inside the house and asking a million questions.
I
all
could,
day.
yeah.
I'm blown. But this is wild to me, Armin. So,
Yes.
what age did you watch He Got Game?
It was probably a few years after that. I'm sure it was when I was in high school, or by the time I was 16, 17, it was either on TV or someone had it. Maybe someone had the DVDs, which were first coming out.
So
And
you were
also
at
2000,
So you watched
That's
it
what
at
it
somebody
was
else's house, is what you're telling
I think so. I honestly cannot remember. I'm not trying to be evasive. I honestly cannot remember. Wasn't in the theater. I know that. Might have been on a rental. Might have got it rented somehow.
Little Blockbuster situation,
Well,
family video.
So it came out in 98. It, depending on when I was either 13, maybe 4, but by the time I was 01, 02, I was 16, 17. Maybe I turned 18 at
All
that
right.
point. I don't
me.
know.
Did you watch American Pie when it came out?
Yes, and my buddy Johnny Logan and I watched American
Okay.
Pie.
in his
okay.
basement.
Yep,
Yes. With,
Yep.
with the lights really dim.
we loved
Yep.
it. It was a great movie because we could relate to it because we were starting high school when this movie came out.
When did
Just
it
like
come
they
out?
were in.
98,
99, 99. And we assigned
Now I watched that
Our
with
friends
my
to everybody.
stepfather.
you.
God
watched it?
bless you.
Nah, see, I wouldn't have been able to
The
do that.
first time I watched it was with my
Oh
stepfather.
my gosh! Oh
Yes.
my god! How awkward was that?
I was going. Listen, it's going into my senior year. We already kind of knew the
Kinda
ropes.
knew,
We knew.
yeah.
Listen, we knew what was going on here. Okay, I mean,
I know,
my
but John,
stepdad. It's my stepdad.
I
He
get
knew
it.
what I was into. I knew what he was into.
I knew what was happening.
Here we go.
I understand that, but it's still awkward to watch. Like it actually.
Why? Why does it have to be?
You only make it
He's doing
awkward.
a pie.
The only reason it's awkward is
And he laughed the entire
It was
time.
funny, dude.
He
It was
laughed
funny.
louder than me. He
If
laughed longer than me.
If you can't laugh at that first scene with Jim and his dad in his bedroom, you
doing a
can't.
pie.
You can't laugh. That was the funniest.
Oh.
When that movie came out, it shocked us all. I mean, imagine now you
I
can't
see
get
now.
shocked.
that
What-
is one of the
how-
best ones.
How many years after that did it take for you to watch it with Leon?
I don't know that I ever watched it with my dad. I'm not
Do you
gonna
think
lie.
your dad has ever watched that movie?
I might have come across TV sometime. He's not
Do
a
you-
big movie watcher though.
Would you do me a favor? Would you
Nah.
sometime this summer?
oh,
no, he
watch
said
it.
no.
Yes.
He
Watch it
said
with
no.
dad.
Yes, watch it
Yes,
with your
I
dad.
want you to watch American Pie with your pops now that
Maybe.
you're 38, 39.
Maybe.
And I want to know if you feel awkward now.
I definitely would. He wouldn't even want to. He wouldn't like want to watch it. He'd be like, I'm not watching that.
You're,
I think you would. I think
All
at
right,
some
fine,
point it would turn
fine.
around. And I think you'd enjoy it. See, but hey, I'm not the only one here. How about this? Born in '95, never saw the movie, and also thought Shuttlesworth's name was just random until about 30 seconds ago when it came through.
You thought it was
that's
Yes!
amazing.
You thought it was the random jersey that people were wearing at Summerfest? Because I've seen that
I've
jersey.
never seen somebody with
Oh
a
my
jersey.
gosh,
You just
that
haven't-
is
it
so
didn't-
amazing.
You probably didn't notice it because it wasn't anything you
Oh,
recognized.
they're out there.
The Lincoln,
They're
I
out
love
there.
that. Okay.
Lincoln with Shuttlesworth on the back. Yeah, dude, that was.
I mean, you're talking to somebody that's got a Jackie Moon Flint Tropics. So I mean,
Right.
I respect the game.
Well, you get them when it's a movie you know. Like they're
Eddie
probably-
and Dallas has Billy. I bet Billy has watched basketball. Yes.
That
Yes,
was good.
definitely seen basketball.
I love
Yes.
basketball.
Come on now.
The Milwaukee Bears.
Basketball, half baked, anything down
That,
that.
yeah, definitely.
that
Come on.
yeah.
That sounds way easier
He
than this
got
situation.
game and blue chips. No,
No,
did
Varsity
not see
Blues.
Penny, didn't see Shaq, didn't see Ray. Man, the basketball guy, they used to put good movies out.
Good movies, man. That was
Now
a
we
Spike
get
Lee
Space
movie.
Jam 2.
I know.
Sorry.
You know
Not
what?
Post, yeah.
I
No doubt.
think it was on ESPN Classic or something because there was a lot of old movies on sports movies on ESPN Classic. Maybe that's where I saw it. Maybe
Do I
not.
get any of my respect back for seeing like half of White Men Can't Jump?
Oh yes, that's a great one with Marcus.
Yeah.
Marcus is
Well,
in that.
I've seen like
That's-
half of it.
Okay, so that movie is spectacular too. And
Mhm.
you need to go back and some of these movies, they stand the test of time. Some movies you go back and you watch in a car scene, you can tell it's not really a car. It's like just a moving
You just
seats
see
and
the,
a fake
the moving
screen.
seats going
Yeah.
through. Yes.
Some of those movies, the cinematronics and everything, not good. So it makes it a struggle. But there's a lot of classics you can still go back and watch. And you can, I mean,
Some great
yeah.
sports movies
So
out there.
how
They
about
really
this,
are.
Billy? Remember the Titans? You must
Oh,
have been
absolutely.
like 5.
Yeah, that was my first and still favorite movie.
Oh, that's amazing.
But you've gone down that road many times, haven't you?
Oh, way too many times. Way
Yeah,
too many
Remember
times
the
I've thrown
Titans
the
is
Remember the
fantastic.
Titans on. Yes,
And
100%.
there's another Denzel. In the
Denzel's
sports
in
movie.
that one.
That's why I'm
You gotta do this,
disappointed
man.
because I am interested in watching He's Got Game.
Denzel
Well-
and He Got Game. It's a different Denzel. This is more training day Denzel.
That's right.
Okay,
This is-
not as
this
Coach
is-
Boone.
Oh no, this is
Okay.
this is
Training
this
day.
is Denzel as you like him. He is fiery. He is,
This sounds more
provocative.
like there's more fun.
Well,
When he said zero fun, sir, in Remember the Titans, this seems like the complete opposite from at least because many people are telling me that the college recruiting scene is the one that I have to see.
you could remember that. Yes.
That's the
At,
one we're
yeah, at
doing.
Big,
Oh,
Sta- at
okay,
Big
okay.
State.
Sure.
Or was it Tech U, Big State?
I think it
Listen,
was Big State.
remember Denzel, Remember the Titans, you
Someone's
can
Big
tell
State.
was like Jay Bruckheimer. And Denzel, Remember the Titans, you can tell was Spike Lee. Like it's a different style, it's a different movie. Like I said, Billy, you don't lose credit with me. It was just you weren't of that age ilk to have seen the movie. So, but I just suggest it, man. You'll enjoy it. The other one, John, Blue Chips is good too. With Shaq
Blue
and
Chips
Penny.
is great.
Blue Chips is
Blue
good.
Chips
Nick
is awesome.
Nolte.
Blue
that's a good
Chips
one.
is literally like draft day, but it came before draft day and it was about basketball.
Yeah. It was about a new,
Did you watch draft day, Billy?
No.
I'm trying to figure out, do I watch too many movies or you don't watch enough?
No, I don't watch enough movies because I have a weird deal. Like if I watch a movie and it's really good and I like it, I'll watch it
I'm
again
the same way, Billy.
before I'll go and watch like
that's
another
me.
movie that I don't know that I'm gonna like.
Always been me as well. You're right.
So
I'm
like
with
I've
you.
seen Step Brothers 25 times.
Hall Pass.
Super Bad 100 times. I haven't seen, This Is the End, right? Like, so I won't.
You know
see
what's
a lot of
interesting
them
about
throughout
that is, Super Bad, you were only about 10, maybe 12 years old at the most when
Yep.
that came out.
Yep, and that was the movie that
Old school, you were definitely only like 9.
Yeah, and that one I saw once I got more into high school and college.
Yeah.
But I remember Super Bad very vividly, John, very vividly. I believe it was
Fantastic movie.
5th or 6th grade. It just became inevitable. You could see that people were watching Superbad and it was too good, right? So that's when
It was so funny.
in early days of YouTube, I think I watched it in 16 separate clips on YouTube when I was like 11 or 12. On one of those days that I was sick from school, I'm like, this is awesome. I gotta be able to check this out.
yeah.
And then I realized that you could watch movies that way.
Yeah.
And that was the only way that as an 11 or 12-year-old that you were snagging rated R movies without
They used
anybody
to-
else know.
They used to post full movies.
Super Bad segment 1. It lasts 13 minutes exactly.
It was
Okay.
outrageous, dude.
Well, and
I gotta find segment
Hanover.
2. Damn it, I can't watch 3 before 2. I gotta
And
watch
of course,
2.
the dirty one, right? That becomes whatever segment 7. All of a sudden, it goes from 6 to 8. You're like, well, I know I'm missing something
Missing
good
the
here.
good
So
one.
somebody's
Some
got to
really
find
good.
it.
This is a
Something
good one.
great.
Had the most views. You can't find
Yeah.
it. But you used to be
Most
able,
replayed
yes.
all over the place, right in the middle of 4 and 6 minutes.
You used to absolutely be able to watch movies that way, though. That was the best. You could go on YouTube, watch them in segments before they allowed posts of over 12 minutes.
So Billy, how about the program?
No idea what that is.
I watched it.
This is
I watched it. Yeah.
blasphemy
Bro, I
that
thought
you're
the-
on here.
I thought the
Sports
program
radio.
program sucked, though. I thought. Did you like the program, John? Thought it was a cheat.
I love the program.
I thought it was done cheesy.
When I watched it, I loved it, but it's awesome. What do you mean?
I thought it was.
Cheesy.
I thought it was like not believable. I thought it was cheesy. Like I remember
There's a lot
it.
of movies that aren't believable.
I didn't like
Oh,
that.
that's fair.
I didn't think it was as good as
Is
everyone
any
else.
given Sunday believable?
Well, come on. Now it was well done.
I think
though.
we all
Beaming.
wanted to believe it.
The ladies can't sing it.
So
Yeah, come on.
No, I like that, but I wasn't a big fan of the program. And okay,
the program's the
When I
people are
grew
just
up-
ripping different movies if I've seen them. It's awesome.
when I grew up in the 90s, it was all the kids' sports movies that were popular. So we had a slew of those that came out in the 90s.
Rookie of the year, seen it 100 times.
Yeah, that's a good example. Big Green.
But the crazy thing about this
The
is we
soccer
need to
one.
give Billy a
Not watching
list
that.
of movies to watch. Because the wild thing to me is you've seen some movies
Mm-hmm.
and you've seen some good ones. Great ones that you didn't even know existed.
Yeah, that's
He
the
didn't
problem.
know the program existed, Blue Chips existed. He got game. He didn't even know they existed. He thought they were just words. He
I
never
thought
knew they
Jesus
were actual movies.
Shuttlesworth was just a name.
A
To be
nickname.
completely honest with you, Ted Davis could have given him that nickname. You could have told me that, and I would have thought that
He
was
probably
it.
did.
He probably did. Just ask him.
Wouldn't that
probably
have been
was.
great if that was just the nickname? Like, what if he's like
Genius nickname.
second-year player, third-year player, young Ray Allen, and there goes Jesus Shuttlesworth on the Bucks Radio Network. I mean, that would have been awesome. Now, Billy, the program, you played college football, you might like it.
You're gonna love the program.
I think
You're
you
gonna
should
love
put
it.
that bottom of your list. If you want my opinion.
He's at bottom of the
If
list.
you got, there's others better movies to watch first. Sorry, John.
Like what?
Like
what?
He Got Game.
I'm going to
Oh,
start with
yeah.
He Got
Yeah,
Game.
He got
He Got Game
was
is going to start.
really
Like, I mean, have you've seen Air Bud? I'm assuming. I'm just kidding.
I've seen a couple.
Bud.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw
actually-
the football one. I think that was it.
Okay, so I'm one of the rare ones.
Sandlot.
I like Draft Day. I think it's really
You
good.
saw Sandlot?
Oh,
Sandlot's
way
awesome.
too many
Good.
times. Yep.
So there's some good classics that you
Mhm.
got there, but there's others out there. That you
No,
haven't
I'm not
touched.
starting at 0. I'm starting at like a solid 62%.
What's the last best
Sports movie.
I feel like we haven't had one in
It's been a
while.
long time, man. It's been a long, long
Mr.
time.
3000 about the Brewers
You shut your mouth.
getting to third place. Rest in peace, Bernie Mac.
I
I
will
was
Yeah,
with
say
my
that is
buddy.
the
My-
worst part about bringing up that movie.
I was at
because
Marquette.
he was awesome, and
My-
I hate that we have to say rest in peace.
Shout
Bernie
out to
Mac.
my
Yeah, man.
my buddy Grant Lord. Yes, rest in peace. My buddy
Awesome.
Grant. Shout out. We were at Marquette. We were juniors. We're like, we're going to the theater at Mayfair just to see this new Brewers movie. I'm like, we're gonna win a championship or something in this movie. It's a movie. We're gonna win something.
No,
We're watching it. I'm like, I think they're like gonna get what's going on here. We're going for third place. That's the movie. The Brewers could only get to third place even in the movie. That really hurt me, but that really hurt me.
I'm not gonna. I can't think of the last good sports movie that I've watched. There's one. It was about, I think, a track coach in Mexico, or maybe it was.
Yeah,
maybe it was
McFarland
New
USA.
Mexico.
McFarland
Yeah, that was
USA
good.
with Costner.
That was actually a good one.
Yeah, Disney movie with Costner. I think it was made by Disney, but
Yeah, I'm not. The Disney sports movies don't hit
Miracle,
as hard as
Not
the
as-
rest, but
yeah.
that was a good one.
well,
Miracle hit.
Miracle, was
Miracle
Disney.
hit,
They
yes,
did it
I
really
know.
well. That was good.
Division III football's finest. That one's in the conversation. Now, if you really want to laugh, or Moneyball, people are sending in, but then that's a different one.
Moneyball
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah, really good, but it almost more for the theatrics instead of
For Brad
like
Pitt and
getting
stuff.
to laugh.
And well, that was a long time ago
Man,
now.
you got great laughs in that movie, though.
You know
Jonah
what?
Hill- Jonah Hill, yeah.
Blind Side. Yeah, the
What's
blind.
that?
I liked the Blind Side, but now I don't know if we're allowed to like the Blind Side.
Why?
Well, because I mean, the whole
Michael
the
Orr
fight
said it
was
was
all
all
Michael
fake.
Orr,
Had-
and they're saying that it was wrong
He said
and
it was
it's
all fake.
false. Now it's real. I don't know what's real and what's
It's
fake.
a movie.
Was that the start of AI?
The documentaries aren't even real, people. They're not.
Hey, Hoop Dreams is real. That's the best sports documentary of all time. Watch Hoop Dreams.
414-799-1973. All right, here we go. The last great sports movie that they've made, not your favorite. Come on, we're not using that tired topic. You guys gotta be absolutely kidding me. They said Varsity Blues for me. That one's also going to have to be on my list
But
because
they're
Matt
not-
LePay
oh,
yells at me for
you
not
haven't
seeing
seen that?
Varsity
Ah, it's
Blues
so
all the
good,
time.
Bill.
Oh my God. See, the problem, but you knew that one existed.
Yes, I was aware of
I-
that one's existence.
I
Yep.
kind of give Billy a small pass, Armin, because he didn't know any of these movies even
Right.
existed.
No, I do too.
Zabe looked at the covers, he read the back, and decided, not good enough plot line for me. No, I'm getting rid of this one.
What this was shot on cinematography for, and I'm not doing this.
720p. I can't burn my eyeballs with this crap.
No one's got time for this.
Okay, you know what? I liked Air. Air was the one that we watched. That was really good about Jordan shoes, about the Jordans.
that
Oh,
was very
okay.
I
good.
liked
That
Air.
was very good.
Okay.
I liked Air.
Maybe I'll write
Not
that
really
one
a
down
sports
too.
movie, but kind of.
Yeah. 414-799-1973. Continue to hammer this on the talking text line because they are flooding through. And then we'll get into the NBA draft from yesterday, which really turned into a Bronny James special and really some special takes from ESPN. The worldwide leader provided some very interesting takes with the Bronny James special that was the second round of the NBA draft we'll get into, as well as the Brewers welcoming in Craig Counsell's Cubs for the second time. What can the Skip expect this time around? It's 9 to noon. Stay wide on the game. Oh, this will trigger Armin. NHL and Fanatics unveil uniforms for 24-25 season tonight live on stage. So are they going to tweak all the NHL uniforms like they did the MLB uniforms, Armin?
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like what they did to uniforms.
Your boy Michael Rubin up here. You're a huge fan, aren't you?
Oh yeah, huge fan of Michael Rubin. Fanatics have ruined sports gear and merchandising in a lot of ways, but
see, but now, John, you mentioned it to the MLB jerseys. I guess I just have not noticed it enough in the pro shop or anything.
Did they not fix them? They did not fix them because the stuff I've been seeing recently is not bad.
Did we just get used to it?
I think we did. I think we got completely used to it. Because here's the deal. You got to show me the old stuff now for me to compare it to the new stuff because I thought the Brewers uniforms, I was down there for 2 days, Armin. I didn't notice one thing.
Get like the side by side. Get all three of them. The first one, spring training, where things are falling out of pants, and then number 3, where they said that they were going to fix them.
I think potentially they just fixed them up. They got them higher quality.
They did mention that they're like, listen, we're going to do this next year. They're like, well, how about you just do it now? Do it now so that nobody has to worry about it.
Do not lose your edge on not liking Fanatics. We can't lose our edge on this. We're losing our edge. Fanatics is not good for us as sports fans.
Consider me lost.
All right? Do not lose your edge.
Here's my deal with Fanatics. I kind of feel like I know what you're getting here. Fanatics used to be, they had a partnership with the NFLPA, so we'd get so much money a year that we could spend at Fanatics for free.
Oh, I love that.
And
okay,
I went on that website for the first time, and I said, trash, dog trash.
There you go.
All right. Hey, Grammy, you got $2,000 to spend on Fanatics. Go ahead. Have fun.
My biggest issue with them is
I don't know how many Packer kid pillow lights you can get that do Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Like how many of those things you can buy.
Yeah,
they had a couple things that I got my kids, but other than that, I was like, yeah, this is cheap stuff.
And they have a monopoly on sports gear now, so you pretty much stuck with them for their products, which I don't find to be of high quality.
That is impressive though, because John's right. They started with trinkets, it felt like, and mini pennants that you're going to get all 30 teams, and now they are like the full outfitter of all professional sports.
I find them a little overpriced.
And collegiate sports.
I find them overpriced and their product not interesting. Whereas once upon a time, you had like 8 or 9 manufacturers all producing different stuff and selling on their own. So you just had more competition, more creativity, more quality, and lower prices in the market. Maybe I'm just being like, an old man yells at cloud at this, but I don't like.
Those things sound like things that you should have been lining up in a debate last night.
Nah,
let's get more competition in big business America. Come on.
But this is what Fanatics has done. It has driven me, and whether you like this or not, and I assume you're going to like this, Armin, it's driven me from online purchasing to purchasing only in pro shops.
Well, I like that.
I only purchase in the actual team pro shop now.
Yes, I like that, but that's good if let's say it's just Packers and you need Packers stuff. Yes, Packers Pro Shop is great.
Well, I don't know what else I'm buying.
But I get it. But so my point is, what if it's not just like, Packer? There's less stock in brick and mortar stores now because of that. I used to go to Fanfare all the time in the mall. Okay,
gone.
Fanfare was the best. They had all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. You had to go to malls.
Only place you'd be able to get a jersey from a team that wasn't the Brewers, Bucks, or Packers.
There isn't much. You go to Dick's, you go to a place, it's not like the stock is there like it used to be. That's my only place. I knew if I had to, let's say I was 15 years old and I wanted to buy a Buffalo Bills hat, I would go to the mall, you go to Fanfare or Finish Line or maybe Foot Locker or what you would fit, maybe they had lids back then and you would pick one. You could still go to lids, but this is what you had to choose from. But one was Apex, one was Starter, one was, whatever the different brands were, Pro Player, Logo Athletic, LA Gear. It's just changed, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. Now, or Nike or Reebok or Adidas. But now Fanatics makes everything. You go to different sites and you realize you're just pulling from the same stock. Fans Edge, Fanatics. It is what it is. But you go to team websites, it's all Fanatics. So
drunk Paul.
That's why you go to the pro shop. Go to the pro shop. You can actually.
I try to. When I do, I try to do that. Yeah.
I will say that. Let's rank pro shops just in Wisconsin. Packers, Brewers, Bucks.
I love the Packers.
Yeah, you have it in the right. You have it in the right order. Yeah, you have it in the right order. The Bucks Pro Shop.
Bucks Pro Shop is the worst pro shop it might be the worst pro shop.
Yes, I think Bucky's locker room beats it at Camp Randall and potentially the Marquette Spirit Shop, which is inside like the Commons.
It's not bad. The Marquette Spirit Shop is actually pretty good if you can get to the Union. They have interesting
if
stuff.
you can park and then walk, you know, like a block and a half in.
Well, I do.
It's still easier to get into the Bucks Pro Shop because the Bucks Pro Shop, you barely ever know like if it's open or not.
I think I was disappointed because that was the newest one. Bucks Pro Shop. I figured it'd be something like the Packers Pro Shop.
Brewers have done, I think, a really good job of expanding theirs.
The
multiple
Brewers
times.
Pro Shop is really good. Now, the Packers have taken it to a whole new level. The Packers are kind of cheating though, right? Because they don't have an owner, so they just keep making the pro shop bigger and keep selling more merchandise and keep making the pro shop. They're like a Kohl's or something. They just keep growing, making more money, and growing again. So I really like the Brewers Pro Shop.
Yes,
I think it's really solid.
Well, and I was going to say this before the Packers redid the Pro Shop with, what would this have been 5 or 6 years ago when they made it all on one level. When it was 3 levels, I would have given the Brewers the edge because I'm not trying to go upstairs.
Oh, I would have.
I'm not trying to go upstairs and down
I like that
an
about
elevator.
The Packers Pro Shop, though. I like that you could go up and you could walk around and look down to the first level and kind of like it made it feel really
bigger.
Neat.
Felt bigger.
This is my problem with the Packers Pro Shop, and this is why I think I put the Brewers higher. Right?
Ooh, okay.
The Packers Pro Shop, more variety, bigger. Smells great. It's got a smell.
It does smell good.
It's not
very
quite
good
like
point there.
It's not quite like Hollister or Abercrombie and Fitch, but it's almost like a casino where they're pumping something in there. I don't know if they have Packer flavored incense or
glad
what
it's not only me that was picking that up. Yep.
But you walk into that pro shop and you're like, smells different in here.
I'm gonna spend some money.
It smells like pain.
That must be it. It must have some kind of casino element to it because my wallet does quickly come out of my pocket in the Packers Pro Shop, similarly to a casino.
Well, there are.
But this is my only knock. Hold on,
Armin.
This is my only knock. They're not always in stock. Regularly, they have stuff out of stock.
Oh yeah,
that you need.
That's what happens with the brick and mortar, unfortunately, store in general. Though, I mean, you don't know if you're going to find your size. I mean, that can possibly be
not just sizes. I went down there.
Stuff. Yeah,
they had about. I told you the best gift you can give a kid ages 6 through 9, the little mini helmets, the full collection.
Yeah.
And the Packers had them for the entire league. And I said, I got birthday gifts for Elle's friends for the next 5 years and Lily's friends for the next 5 years. I got 10 years worth of birthday gifts when they get invited to a boy's birthday.
Yeah, dialed in.
I went down there, boy's birthday, going down. Where are the mini helmets? They should be. Nope, they're not.
Yeah,
I know exactly where they are because I bought them 6 times.
I go all the time.
I need a 7th. I need a 7th. Well, we must be out of them. Damn it.
See, here's where Packers Pro Shop gets it, though. They understand their clientele. Go in there and try to find a 3X. You have more options in the 3-4X variety at the Packers Pro Shop than any other location, probably in the state.
Again, unfair advantage. They play games outside, and they know people want to wear sweatshirts underneath their jerseys.
Yep.
You know, so
stockpile it up.
So they have a much bigger. They're selling Bucks jackets. There's a couple Bucks jackets.
There's a couple in there, yeah.
In that teeny weeny pro shop. There's a couple Bucks jackets.
But it's hit or miss because you don't know what's in stock during that
And what
time.
are you buying? Are you buying a Bucks leather jacket because you want to look cool walking into the suite? Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I can take it off instantly once I get down to my seats. Yeah, for sure. I like this one from Schwartz Center. Fanatics makes me feel okay buying less quality DHgate stuff.
That's the greatest point in the world. Absolutely, Schwartz Center. Absolutely. You couldn't have hit it better. You feel like you're basically I'm just gonna buy DHgate and I don't feel bad about it.
Nick from Mequon Pizza said they're also monopolizing the sports card world soon, and the sports card world is a different animal, man. Like, you want to talk about the kind of money and the sheer volume that's going on in sports memorabilia right now. Cards just continue to crank up. Pat from De Pere, I'm with you.
He's right about this. He's right.
After getting blessed by a Shields one time,
that's his money.
That's a game changer right there.
Last time I was
prices,
actually
good prices, good quality.
The selection, though, the selection.
And you can also get whatever you want. It was, to me, what Sports Authority used to be.
When
Old Sports Mart was the real winner.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That when we did the Toys for Tots show.
But there's a certain feeling, though, about buying from the pro shop directly. like being in there and walking out with a direct
Oh,
push-up
yeah.
bag.
No,
You feel different.
You're putting
feel
money
more
in the Packers'
comfortable.
pockets too.
But,
Helping
yeah.
it out a little bit. Because isn't it in the team's
I don't know if that
location?
makes you feel good or bad.
Oh, come on now. We got to support the club. Like tonight, going to Brewers Cubs, hitting the pro shop because we gotta find some ways to get some starting pitching.
There
So,
go.
that $24 that I might spend in the Brewers pro shop,
Josh is going
to get in there.
I think Josh is going to be there tonight. You should.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got the whole the whole crew, the whole shirt crew, his whole like.
Oh, he's this weekend,
Roosevelt's-
squad weekend.
That is squad weekend. He put
Shirt gang. They call it shirt gang.
Shirt gang.
He put a lot of energy and effort in this weekend just to host like a big Roosevelt shirt convention in Milwaukee.
Can you fill us in a little bit on this on the other side here?
Yeah, I saw him yesterday for a bit.
You saw him yesterday?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. Because I
okay.
have one very important question.
Okay.
As you look around shirt gang, do they all look the same?
Well,
The shirts or the humans in the shirts?
Both.
414-799-1973. I love that deal. I love that. Okay. Let's get into that and beyond sports movies on this talk and text line. So we got to clean through some of these texts that we've gotten because many people are setting apparently my appointment viewing for the next month and a half that I have to fill myself in through. It's 9 to noon on the Game. We need this at Summerfest.
You want Ray J?
Yes, I want Ray J at Summerfest.
You want Ray J at Summerfest? I mean, maybe.
I want Ray J at Summerfest. I want Neo at Summerfest.
No, I'm with you on that. Bring them all back. Bring all the old school back and get rid of Fanatics.
Sometimes we'll get Nelly at Summerfest, but like
Nelly's great.
Luda, we just had in Milwaukee a week and a half ago. Luda needs to be like a Summerfest staple.
How about that? So what was Luda doing? He got rained out, so he decided to just take it down there to the 3rd Street Market.
Hall.
Yep. And walked in and just said, "Move! Get out the way."
How many songs? What was his set? How many songs did he sing, Armin?
I think I don't know. I only saw one clip on Twitter.
Yeah, I only saw the
it.
clip of him singing "Move."
I didn't go to the
yelling "Free concert! Free concert! Free concert!"
with
and
his,
then
like,
rip one song and then goes.
with the PA like help like he's
That
an
was awesome,
like
by the way.
Like he's an usher at the Brewers game.
No, I more like he's one of those guys holding up one of the like signs in Las Vegas telling you that you're either going to to hell right away or
watch the show.
That's or watch the show that's about to start.
Where the kids flip over and over again on the strip. Yeah,
some guy trying to roast 50 people in a line right in front of Planet Hollywood. Yeah, that's always he's just standing there.
He's always there. Man, you know who I saw yesterday? Nappy Roots. I gotta bump some of that. Those guys, those guys are still.
So you
great.
went and checked out Summerfest yesterday. Obviously, saw KB and the Dungarees first. You weren't able to. You had to work.
I didn't see KB and the Dungarees first.
I know you had to work. But everybody else that went down there went at 1 to see KB and the Dungarees.
Well, because I knew Eve 6 was gonna play, and I like a couple of their songs. You know, Eve 6, and I knew they were gonna play at 4:15, and Josh was gonna be there. So I was like, I'll meet up with Josh to see Eve 6, and he was there in the first event for his entire Roosevelt shirt meetup weekend, which is like there's like 60 guys coming into town or something like that. And he has
60?
He has like 4 days.
Because I saw the picture yesterday of like 7 or 8 dudes.
Right. He said this was the early bird crowd. The majority of them aren't coming in.
The real partiers in here today
guys.
On Thursday.
So they're all wearing their Roosevelt shirts and they're all going to be doing events throughout the whole weekend. And he organized all of it. This is like a big thing. So
damn,
I know.
Okay, Josh.
I don't even. I'm like, what do you get for this? He's like, I don't get anything. It's just like they
love and admiration
of the community of Roosevelt shirts. They meet up, they have events, and there's a new guy that can host everybody's event. And they travel to go, and they all hang out. It's like a community, and they all know each other. They wear the shirts. And they do.
Oh, so they put on the shirt. They wear the shirt.
You have to be in
So there's a uniform that is worn when they go out in public.
They wear the shirt. Kind of like Armin yells at people to do at events and then doesn't wear the Nooner Day shirt.
Do they get to pick out their shirts or does the host person pick out the shirt
Good question.
for everybody?
I think they pick out whatever Roosevelt shirt they want, but they happen to be wearing similar ones yesterday. So maybe they organize what ones they're going to wear.
Well, they're probably wearing the best sellers, right?
Well, the newest ones. Like
yeah,
they
the
come
newest
in,
ones.
They come in here hot.
For sure.
Like
sure, it's like anything
so
else.
It'd be like going to a Jordan convention.
Show,
like nobody's wearing the 3s. Everybody's wearing the 11s,
Mm-hmm.
the 1s.
Or colorways that are the ones that nobody has.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, some like customized versions here? Is that what you're saying?
All I know is I thought Josh said he was going there, and I'm like, all right, I'll meet up with you for Eve 6. And I didn't wear a Roosevelt shirt.
And you didn't realize you weren't in.
Yeah. So once you showed up with a regular Hanes white T-shirt, they looked at Josh and said, "Friend, get him out of here.
Get this outsider out of here."
I said out of here.
I said,
he cannot be in our shirt convention club without a shirt on.
I said,
get him out.
Said hi to him. I said, "What's up?" It just the vibe seemed off. It was
because
like,
you have one.
I do have one. I didn't wear it. No, I mean it was because I came right from work. Well, I don't wake up and put a Roosevelt shirt.
You
on.
even have one of the shirts and you didn't wear it?
Yeah,
what were you thinking?
One.
You were trying to start. Don't start something. Won't be nothing. And you were trying to start it. And I want to know: were you trying to start it to get them all mad at Josh because he has friends that doesn't wear these shirts?
I was just going.
Or were you just trying to just start something? Were you just trying to stoke a flame? What
no.
I mean,
I was trying to go meet up with my friend Josh at the concert, who I thought, it had the whole real vibe of, best friend during summer vacation. Once school starts, I don't know you type of thing.
Wait,
that's what it kind of felt like. And
wait, stop.
You got Johnny Logan.
And so no, Johnny was good about sometimes Johnny would do that.
Because you said that. You said, Johnny, don't forget me. Don't forget we hung out all summer.
And usually he didn't, but it was a little vibe of that. Like Josh was with his guys and I was talking to him, but he's like, yeah, we're taking pictures and they're taking pictures together and they're hanging out. And I think he felt the responsibility to be with those guys because he's running the show. I'm like,
did he not really talk to you?
Well, I'll stay 4 rows back here and watch the concert too. And, I'll wave.
So you watched the concert by yourself while Josh was there.
To be fair, I wasn't
hanging out with friends that he met on the internet.
To be fair, Nappy Roots and Eve 6 were the same time, and I went to see mostly Nappy Roots because that's what I wanted to watch. And I came back to Eve 6 for Inside Out and the encore, their big song. But I went to say hi to him first, and I started talking to him, and it was like the conversation was more with the shirts, about the guys in the shirts, and I'm like, okay, I get it. This is your event, and this is how we're doing it.
I was laughing so hard I unplugged my headphones.
No.
It wasn't really like
man on the internet chat room.
Mad. He's gonna be mad now. Josh is gonna be mad.
Big
man.
time.
That's how it felt, dude. Josh, that's how it felt a little bit. And I understand you're stressed out and you have
All right,
big
tell me about.
responsibility. But Josh, we're supposed to be, we're supposed to be tight, Josh.
You guys are Olive Garden bros.
All of a sudden, I don't have a Roosevelt shirt on, and I'm not part of the club.
No, but this is the worst part. Is people don't realize. Tuesday night, you and Josh had date night. You, Julie, Josh, Laura.
Yeah,
how do you think Laura and Julie would feel if they knew you went down to a concert last night to meet Josh and he didn't talk to you because he had his new friends in attendance?
I think they'd be laughing.
Julie might have told you to wear the shirt.
I think they'd be laughing at both of us, but Julie might have, yeah. I think they both would.
Laura would definitely be laughing at you.
Yeah, they both would have rolled their eyes. I mean, I think there's no doubt about it. I mean, Josh did talk to me, but it was like, this is about the shirts more.
All right.
Sure.
Did they or did they not all look the same?
You mean
very similar situation?
You mean the shirts?
Very similar. Oh, yeah. The shirts are all the same, right?
They all are kind of the same.
Not all the same in the style, in the color rush of it, but like the style of it, form fitting. Not form fitting.
No, they all seem like the kind of like the Josh guys.
What is a Josh guy?
Well, that vibe.
What vibe is that?
The bigger dudes? Is that what you're trying to say? They're good big man shirts.
They're great.
If you're wearing a big man shirt, you got to be rocking.
So that's what this is.
One of them.
This is like the untuck it. Like, but
this is the untuck it for big men.
Okay, so I
don't know. There's a lot of body types for this. No, I didn't see a lot of super skinny guys wearing them.
Okay, so what you're saying is
7 guys though.
What you're saying is that shirt is really good for 5'10", 300 pounds, and Star Wars.
A lot of Star Wars from what I've seen.
Listen, they're very comfortable.
Now
shirts.
I'm interested to see because they're going to the Brewer game tonight. Do I even try to meet up with them?
You can try, but you don't have a Roosevelt shirt.
No, I'm not in the Roosevelt game.
Then
they won't talk to you. They won't talk to you.
He'll do it. He'll give you the cursory, but he might not pay a lot of attention to you, bro.
He's definitely not talking. Plus, I even wonder if you came in with a Roosevelt shirt on. Like if Armin had worn his Roosevelt shirt, would he have been actually adopted into the group? Would they have said, "Look, we have another Roosevelt. We got
another one.
He's with us." Or would they have known? Or would they have known he was a poser? Would they be able to tell he's not really a furry like the rest of them? He's just down there
trying to pretend,
walking around in this thing. And they're going to ask him a couple questions about where he purchases his Roosevelts, how often he hits up the Roosevelt talking text line, and they are very quickly going to know he is full of it.
Right, that I'm not a real one, right? A couple of the guys were nice, so they were more excited to talk to me than Josh.
Really?
You're on the radio too, right?
So I was thinking, like John said, they were going to be looking at you like, let's get this outsider out of here. Get this guy out of here.
I don't know. I'm curious to see when the actual group comes in. Apparently there's 60 of them, and they're supposed to walk in a straight line or something like that.
Can you imagine 60 of them walking in a straight line into the Brewers game tonight?
Shut up. No, that's not real.
He said there's some sort of percent.
There's not some kind of formation they have to walk in. This isn't the Flying Jays.
That's what he said.
It's like the Skull and Crossbones. What the heck? What are we doing here? Seance later tonight.
It's serious business, and Josh has been a lot of stressed out for this, bro.
I like this, Brian. Armin,
where's he hosting?
You're pissing off the Truckers and the Roosevelts. I hope Natty Oaks, because I'm stopping over there to take the shuttle to the Brewer game tonight. So that's why I do want. I want to squat up. I want to see if I can intercept this deal.
Breakfast at Natty Oaks. They're going back to Summerfest. They're doing a Central Standard as the main meetup. There's a lot going on. Josh told me
So quit asking.
It's more than a bachelor party. I mean, it's just incredibly a lot to organize.
Where is he hosting them? Are they all staying in the basement?
No, they're at their own hotels.
Oh, okay.
They're not like staying over at the house.
Did he get like a block of rooms?
Good question.
This feels like.
Do they ever show up at his house? Do they jump on the trampoline?
God, I hope so.
Do they smoke cigars on the back
I don't know.
porch?
There's not enough room for all those guys. And Josh is getting work done in the house.
Did you just shame Josh's house?
No,
very
it's
much
Josh.
him.
A nice house, a regular house.
He's got that
You
gorgeous
size
back
shamed his
deck.
house.
I
You
didn't
said it's too small.
I don't think most people can host 60 people for 4 days at their house.
Hey, your
Roosevelt
condo.
guys. Yeah, I don't think so, Bill.
No, no,
Wow.
it's 60 regular people, maybe, but not 60 Roosevelt guys. No way, no chance.
You son of a.
They all kind of look the same. They
Oh
have a
my
Josh
God.
vibe. Armin's words, not mine.
They're great
Wow.
shirts. They're great shirts, though.
You're a
They
bad
really are
person.
comfortable.
414-799-1973. Andy of the County Line. Man, Josh is just catching strays today.
I'm gonna get.
No, we're
he's
trying to
gonna be-
learn.
He's gonna be so mad when he hears about.
We're
this.
trying to learn
So
and get familiar with this
Sorry,
game.
it's just facts, man. Sorry, Josh. It's facts.
Oh man, hour 2, 9 to noon. Can't get here soon enough. It's right here statewide on the game. Yeah, we did it now. Hour 2, 9 to noon. We may have tripped the trigger. We may have gotten everybody fired up. We may have aggravated somebody, or maybe Josh is just way too busy because people are fighting up his battles in Army. We haven't gotten a text yet from our Roselle.
He won't hear about it yet.
No.
He's busy. It's a big day for these guys. But I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him because he loves this community with the Roosevelt Church. I don't know.
I love Brian in Milwaukee. Maybe Josh was just too worried he'd see him talking to a non-Roosevelt shirt wearer way too long. And he really did.
I don't want to Josh in a bad spot where all of a sudden our Roosevelt leader in Milwaukee is like, a fraud or something.
Roosevelt leader. You know that? Is he the official Roosevelt contact in Milwaukee?
I don't know for sure if there's a hierarchy.
What you're making it sound like he's a bishop right now. He's working his way up to cardinal status.
Good question. I don't know if there's an official hierarchy.
He's working his way up. He is now past priesthood. So all the people that wear Roosevelt in Milwaukee go to him because he's the bishop. They all go to him and talk to him, and he lets them know if they're Roosevelt church.
Listen, if they're having a vote and he's the one that organized the meetup and did all the work for it, don't you think
it's going to be hard to beat?
He's got the inside track on it. I do.
Well, I mean, hopefully he performs well in a debate if they have one.
Well, I just got to talk about his golf game, right?
That is peak guys at the country club having the conversation.
Couldn't have loved it anymore. Hey, you know what? We watch these damn things. Anymore, and we don't get anything. We don't get policies. We don't get drama. Now they got buttons so they don't even get to cut each other off. This button lights up for this to let you know when to talk, and when you can't talk, their microphone shuts off. Can't even cut people off anymore. Like there's no reason to watch these debates, it feels like. And then last night we got it. The most frivolous part of that entire conversation. And listen, they both called each other a liar 50 times. I get it.
100%.
They both, okay, whatever. That does nothing for me. But you start getting into a good golf handicap debate as to whether your handicap's the legit handicap, and I've seen your swing. I know that's not.
I've seen that swing. I know your swing.
I'm a two-time club champion, not even senior, just club champion.
Seen that swing. I know that swing.
And at your club too. Now I wonder, is that like? I don't want to step on it. All right. John said it. No policies, a liar. Because I saw Putin play hockey, right? Like, so I don't, I just want to make sure that like.
Oh, you have in person?
Not in person. I've seen these wild videos.
That would be gangster.
And my man scoring like 8 or 9 goals.
Where they set him up
where they're basically just setting him wide open. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
you win the club championship at a club you own. Is that the situation? I don't know. I mean, not seeing
Kim Jong-un has scored, 170 points in a basketball game, right? You know this. He broke Will's record.
Yes.
All these guys, they're the best athletes in the world.
I mean, it was just really what we're watching?
I will say this. I did play a Trump course one time where Trump was there. And what's wild is you're walking and you're playing the course, and then all of a sudden it's like the caddies move out of the way, you move out of the way, and you stand to the side real quick as he and whoever he's playing with just go
buzz right by you.
They're in carts, you're walking, they're in carts, they bing bang boom straight through, and it's just like whatever, man, not a big deal.
This is pre-presidency?
This was about 3 years ago. So this
was post-presidency. Okay, sorry.
Oh, he's always on one of his courses.
That's awesome.
You can see him out there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't know if this was in the middle of it either. I'm like
club champion.
Ripping it up.
I'm wondering who the members are in these clubs. Obviously,
that's a good question. Yes.
He wins.
And how many Roosevelt shirts are being worn in the clubhouse?
Yeah, it's just like not much. I mean, LeBron gets drafted. LeBron gets drafted by LeBron. He wins his own club championship.
I mean,
like it's got to work out.
The amount of power plays last night when it comes to sports, and I'm talking about the handicap club championship BS that we heard in the debate, and then LeBron getting his son drafted. Between those two things, it's just. Are we even real anymore?
Are we real?
Straight simulation.
Are we keeping this stuff real?
Maybe I do want AI.
Yeah, you've been fighting against it. We're going to get to the Bronny James thing in 1 minute. The club championship and the handicap. The part of it that I think is the funniest and the most laughable, and it was the one that really tripped me out. When Biden says, if you carry your own bag,
Yeah, I'll play you if you carry your own bag. Listen,
I'm not
guys,
even carrying my own bag,
No,
and I'm
never.
29.
Never.
Like, there's no chance either of those cats are going to be able to.
I'll do this whole country a favor and I'll set it up and I'll get them carrying their own bags on Green Bay and we will be looking for new candidates by whole three.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
yeah.
I guarantee it by whole three.
Carry your own bag. That was an 8. Okay. That was
I swear to but
Let's not act like children.
Live from New York. It's Saturday night.
oh my God. I had not had more
Oh
fun
my God.
watching one of these things than last night when Trump came on and started with the I've been club champion twice. My wife was in another room and I heard her cackle. It was amazing. That was amazing. You know the best part of that though?
Club champion twice, not
Is
even senior.
listening to it without actually watching it, it feels like when I brought Zabe with my golf group one time,
Okay.
which I don't think I'm allowed to do again. I think I got the conversation after Zabe was with our golf group that Josh probably got yesterday by the Roosevelt group.
What? Too many pictures, or what's the deal?
No,
Not
it
bringing
was
him in.
strongly advised that his handicap was under advisement and it wasn't.
Oh, they didn't
it's-
believe.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
That conversation right there,
Yeah.
very similar to the conversation over a beer and settling up some bets in the clubhouse of Troon out there in Scottsdale. It was, I've seen your swing, and you are not a 16.
See, but now don't we go the opposite way? Aren't we supposed to say
Yes,
the higher
Steve,
number
listen,
first?
The funny part about that is those two, Trump and Biden, that is
Yeah.
what you call a reverse sandbagger. That is, and people say sandbagging's the worst. People say sandbagging's the worst. Somebody that inflates their handicap
Right.
artificially so that they can just steamroll people.
And win, right?
Some
Basically
people
cheating.
sandbagger. Some people say that's
Aaron was accused of that.
I
Wasn't he?
actually did. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
a
Wasn't he?
few different times.
Wasn't
Yeah,
he?
a few different
I
times.
I hate to bring it up, but I'm just keeping it real. That's
Maybe
Yeah.
that's what he's doing. He's working on his handicap.
okay.
So the reverse sandbagger though is worse because they claim they're better than what they are. They play with these lower handicaps, and some might say, "Well, what does it matter to you if they are playing at a much? They have no chance of winning with these handicaps artificially too low." Yeah, but if you get paired up with them, it's not a great pairing.
Yeah, then your host. Yeah. If he's your teammate, it's the absolute worst because then it's the money coming out of your pocket because this guy doesn't know how to keep track or cheat the right way.
Isn't it possible though? I mean, that someone could outplay their own handicap one day, or underplay their own ability one
Yes,
day. Guys
but-
have good and bad days, right?
Hey, you're an analytic guy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They
sure.
actually have analytics for this. So
Right.
your handicap is not actually what you shoot, not actually what you average. Your handicap is what your potential should be.
So it's
what you should
predictive. It's predictive.
so what you should potentially hit. And can
Right.
you, I mean, obviously this is sports, so you can have ebbs and flows. Can you do better? Can you do worse? Absolutely.
It's like Ken Pom for golf.
But there are numbers that and probabilities for a golfer that is, let's call it an 8, to go and shoot something that a 2 would shoot. And those probabilities are not very likely.
Yeah.
Right. I'll take my index is a 15.5. And if I shot a 79, which I have come really close to doing a couple times in my life, and one of these days I will break 80.
Come on now.
All right, let's go.
Let's
But
do
if
it.
I break 80 at a 15.3, I'm going on advisement because the probability of that is like 1 in 50,000. And they
I
don't
know.
believe you when you do that.
I didn't
So
know it
it's
was so
not
serious.
what it's not what you generally shoot because I would generally float between like 95 to 104.
Yeah. So I think the way it is, like a 6 or an 8 handicap, something around there, averages an 80. Averages an 80.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Wow,
they're-
now I understand these numbers so much more.
Yeah. But what
This is
how
so
they figure-
confusing still.
they
to
take
me.
your top, they take your lowest 8 scores out of your last 20 scores. That's how they determine your handicap. But there are a lot of there are a lot of different analytics that are involved to determine probabilities. And if you hit a probability, a low probability, I'm talking under 5%, you're on advisement, Armin.
It just
I
seems
love
like
that you can call these out right away.
Advisement. You're on
We
advisement.
get this to advisement here.
Like who puts it? Is there like a board that does this and overseeing like a watchdog group? I'm just so glad that
yes, and
recreational golf sounds like so much work that I just can't believe like
it
how
is.
people
And there
enjoy
are times I wonder to myself, am I just a Roosevelt shirt wearing kind of guy over here that I got people on a board telling me what's probable
Can
and
you
what's not
imagine,
probable with my swing?
You can't play that good.
Why
You're
am
on
I doing
advisement.
this?
You can't play that good. I know you're not that good.
I'm way too cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen you swing. I know you're
Can you
swing.
imagine going to the playground at McGovern Park? You're playing pickup ball and you start hitting 4 threes in a row. You're shooting well that day. Nope, you're on advisement. Yeah,
Under advisement. This
I'm
guy's
sorry.
cheating right now.
I'm sorry, that doesn't count. What? Like
It's
I'm
real.
it's just weird to me, I guess.
Yeah,
I'll be
Hales
honest.
Corners Park would not have liked me once I was able to go and fill it up for 16 because I was too sweaty and no one wanted to play defense. I would have been under advisement instantly with
Like
that one, Armin.
I appreciate the effort to try and level the playing field, which is what handicap tries to do, right? Tries to make it like an even playing field for betting and such like that, right? Isn't that the point?
So you know what happens when you go on advisement?
Not
I
even
don't.
not
I
even
don't.
close, but I'm so interested.
you have to buy the round at the clubhouse. I don't
No,
know.
it's no. that would be the best.
Yeah,
Okay,
please.
listen, you're on advisement, and that's exactly one of these Romeo and Juliet's over here, and a bottle of bourbon for the group, and then we'll decide if you're
Right,
on or off.
right.
We'll figure it out
That's
after
what it
that.
should be.
No, they watch every score that you shoot for the next month. For the month. For a month, you have to report this
Who's
score to the
they?
group.
Who's they?
Them.
We don't know.
It's the group.
It's the overseer. It's the
It's
Illuminati.
probably. I was gonna go somewhere really bad with that. I'm gonna let that
I
go.
was so glad you caught yourself. You put that head down. That was exactly it.
I just that's
yeah.
my curiosity. Is there? You said there is some like
I thought it was just
association.
one cat at the club, at the golf club, that's just sitting up in the top saying,
No, it doesn't matter what course.
"Somebody bring
right?
me Coon scores over here. I
Right.
need to report these to the USGA."
Right, John. It doesn't matter which course. Like it depends on you. It's based on the course as well, right?
So if you need to input every score from every course. Yes.
yeah.
So would this go into an app? Is this into?
You know,
sorry,
there,
we're
I
asking
have
this.
so I have seen things get really kind of screwy, and not with me. And I've always said, if somebody has a problem with me inputting a score 3 days after I shoot it because I had some beers after the round and I
Right.
completely forgot that I
Yeah,
even golfed
sorry.
that day, give me a break.
Yeah, get over
won't-
yourself.
You won't want to talk to me after you put me on advisement for something
Yeah.
like that. However, I have heard horror stories of guys getting put on advisement because they don't put their scores in, or they put their scores in inaccurately. There was a guy who potentially was playing 9 holes and then scoring it as 18 every single time, which is a way to inflate or deflate your hand.
I get it.
Was not me.
My
I'm
man's
talking
shooting
about somebody else.
72s on 9. He's like, dude, this guy's scratch golfer. Over
Actually,
And
it
if
was
someone
actually it
cares-
was the worst. Actually, it was worse. He was shooting like 41 on 9. He was shooting like 41 on 9, and he was inputting it as like an 82 or an 84, which is not really the case. And
Just
you can shoot
doubling it
better
up.
on the
Yeah,
back
dude.
9. So his handicap was way higher than it should have been, and he was taking people for all their money. So
And
that guy, he got in a lot of trouble.
Well, I would bet
Oh
that
my
there are
God.
certain people also trying to pay off someone to accept their handicap, right?
What do we have? A Jonte Porter situation
Dude, I
here
don't-
at
I
Green
mean,
Bay Country Club?
I'm not saying it's that great. I'm saying any because it's not based on the country club. It's based on inputting your score to some
Sure.
magical association or whatever it is. And I don't know.
There could be some point shaming in this.
It's always been interesting to me. It doesn't sound to me like recreation, I guess, is my point. Now, I understand why it's fun to compete and keep score and all that stuff. I'm not saying you shouldn't try that.
I
And
love this.
It just seems so intense. Like, imagine if I went to play tennis and I'm walking around the courts. I'm like, hey, Mike scored this today, and I'm keeping track of everyone's scores.
Could
I don't
you
know.
just imagine, though, if you were put on advisement?
It's
That's on your record.
what
I was gonna say, is
record?
that on your permanent record?
What record? What record?
My permanent golf record.
You apply for a tournament, they're going to go back and they're going to say, wait a second, you got to tell us about this advisement. What was this about? We see this red flag. We know you have this. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah.
You got to announce your advisements when you enter into a tournament, just like you got to tell your employer
For the
if you've ever
tournaments.
been arrested for anything.
Sure, I get it. I get it's just weird to me, but I get it. I mean, I know that this is part
That's
of
not true, but I got Harmon.
Oh,
Oh, he's dialed in. Yeah, he's locked on it.
I didn't know.
Brian in Milwaukee, course difficulty and length also matter. Hitting advisement can be great too. I was at a 21.1 last year, shot an 83, so it took one stroke all 19 of my previous scores for handicapped purposes, so I dropped down to a 17. One event you can lose 4 points. This is not like a batting average even in Armin. This is like batting average in April. Get one base hit and your average goes up 15 points.
Yeah. Can you imagine if this was done in mini golf too? Like, I'm sorry, you went to Green Fields or River Falls and you're
not playing like that. Get over to Moreland. That course difficulty, you were supposed to shoot fantastically over there.
This part of the golfing culture
Here's
seems
the
weird
deal.
to me, but I don't want to tell anyone that because they're going to make fun of me. So.
Bottom line, there's no doubt Trump and Biden both on advisement for the handicap.
Gotta be.
I know that swing. I've learned that swing.
I know that swing. It's a terrible swing. Horrible swing. Worst swing we've ever seen. 419-1973. Oh, sorry. I just on it. That was on me.
Just a drop. No, you're good. You're good.
That was on me.
I missed
Put it on me. I mistimed it. I point thumbs. All right. Because you point a finger. There's four fingers
Molly
pointing back.
I can't really tell. You're both trying to get out, but neither of you will let the other one get out. Get out!
Let me do my job. We'll talk Bronny James next, 9 to noon on the Game.
John Kuhn here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and you can take it from me that trying to order windows or doors in an order home, not the easiest thing to do, because the way they did things back then, I'm talking 50, 60, 70 years ago, a lot different than today. But it's why many people with older homes reach out to Pella Windows and Doors. They've got a team of experts that can customize windows and doors to match architecture from literally any era. And it really doesn't matter what kind of home you live in. They have endless possibilities and sizes, colors, finishes, pretty much anything you want. Best part is if you order today from Pella, you get 0% interest for 3 years, but that offer is only good till the end of the month. Pella's products stand a test of time as well. In fact, they're so confident of it that they have the best wood warranty in all of the business. And with deals and reasons like this, you should not wait any longer. Get 0% interest for 36 months if you order by June 30th at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. And please tell Gina Della that John Kuhn sent you. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details.
front offices.
Adrian Wojnarowski yesterday on the Bronny James special, round 2 of the NBA draft, that was broadcasted inside of an ESPN studio where Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum dapped up with like 15 guys that were brought into what essentially looked like a large conference room. Actually, I shouldn't even say large conference room. I bet ESPN has larger conference rooms than they set that thing up in yesterday.
Way bigger.
I'm sorry. I'm an NBA guy. I love it. That was so awkward yesterday. However, they had me hook, line, and sinker because I sat there until 55 guys, until Bronny James ultimately was taken by the Los Angeles Lakers, and it was the worst kept secret in all of professional sports, as we talk about it here on 9 to noon. John, Adrian Wojnarowski's right. Nepotism in sports is all over the place. I think the interesting part of this one, and it'll take some time because he's not going to play a bunch this year. He's probably not going to play a whole lot the year after, potentially. It's clear how Bronny James gets his start in the NBA. Now, what you do with your opportunity shows if nepotism works out, right? Like in broadcasting, it might almost be worse. But it doesn't mean that you're going to be great, right? Like Chris Russo's grandson just is getting into broadcasting. He's going to get opportunities because his grandpa's Mad Dog, right? And his grandpa's amazing. But if he stinks, no one's going to put him on the air.
Yeah, and if
right?
you're really good, it doesn't matter.
Noah Eagle is the best example.
Or Joe Buck. I mean, really,
Noah Eagle's younger than I am. When he got the Clippers job, I think when we were 23 or 24, I looked around saying, okay, well, no chance that's ever happening. Then I listened to him 2 months later.
Yeah,
I'm like,
sounds great.
This son of a gun is amazing.
Yeah,
okay. So then you get more opportunities, but you get the foot in the door. Not only the foot in the door, you get the whole door opened for you, walk up to the receptionist desk, and they're waiting for you. Now, see what you can do with it is going to be Bronny James into the NBA, and we'll see. I mean, if he plays in like 10, 15 games here in 23 or 24, 25, which that will be a massive story if it even happens for however long and how many games he ends up suiting up and playing with the Lakers this year.
Here's my thing. That whole round 2 Bronny James fest, that was sad for the NBA. I thought, me personally, I think it's a bad look.
Mm-hmm.
I think it looks stupid. I do. It is. Hey, he's there because of his dad. He would not be there without his dad. Is that a big deal? No, it's not a big deal. He's the 55th pick.
Right.
3/4 of these guys won't even play in the NBA.
Yeah, these are non-guaranteed contracts in the second round.
3/4 of these guys will not play in the NBA. Is it a big deal that his dad got him to be picked up so that when he goes to work in the morning, he can bring his kid to school day, or bring his kid to work day literally every day so that he can work with him? No, it's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal, but it's going to get talked about a lot because it is LeBron James, because everything LeBron James does is bigger, and everything LeBron James does gets talked about a lot more. I think it's a bad look. I think it makes the NBA look kind of soft, look kind of weak, that they organized this whole day to steal, a little bit of ratings on a Thursday afternoon.
On a Thursday afternoon.
It looks desperate. It just looks desperate. And the fact that, Bronny James was, and there's only 2 ways to look at this. Either A, some teams wanted to mix it up and get a little crazy, like we suggested. Hey, pick Bronny James and hold him for ransom. Literally hold this guy for ransom.
We have your son.
Then Rich Paul says, yeah, we have your son. Liam Nelson on the other side. I do not play games. I do not negotiate with terrorists.
We're going to Australia.
And by the way, this is Rich Paul. We're going to go play in Australia. If you pick
we have a certain set of skills. We're going to Australia.
If that is actually true, which it may or may not be, but allegedly it was said, and if that is true, a shame on the NBA for letting LeBron not only tell the Lakers exactly what to do, but to tell every team in the league what to do. I don't believe that's true. I think it's more likely every other team in the league said Bronny James isn't
sweet. We weren't taking him anyway. Yeah.
Problem is nobody else was wanting him to take him.
Yeah. I think that's the most likely case. So which one is it? Is it Bronny James wasn't good enough to get drafted, but they made this moment artificially so that he could cry on television and his mom could cry on television and they could make this story off of really non-truths? Or is the truth that they did? They held the entire league for it. I think no matter what you look, no matter how you sell this story to me, it looks phony. It looks weak. It looks
contrived, right?
Yeah, it just looks set up. And you know what? I'm with you, Billy. Now he's got to go to work. Now he's got to do things.
Now you got to see if it works.
Does it bother me? No, not at all. He's the 55th pick in an NBA draft. It does not affect me one bit. I just think it makes the NBA look sad.
Yeah, and that part of it being the second round Bronny James special, I'm kind of with you. Like, ESPN looked desperate all day long. I mean, because they were desperately waiting for it to be over. I don't know that Stephen A. and anybody else on the panel knew anything other than Kyle Filipowski. And they didn't even know the real Kyle Filipowski story that we started learning on. They didn't even know the Kyle Filipowski situation until the internet got onto it. And we'll get into that coming up. But they only talked about Filipowski and Bronny James. And when Bob Myers is talking about the Rich Paul situation, like you mentioned, it almost felt like he's just grasping at straws. Like, man, they're calling everybody saying, Malik Andrews looks at him like, you understand what you just said on national television, right? That they're calling people and saying, don't draft him. He will go and play 15 hours away. Maybe it was happening. Maybe it wasn't. I just don't think anybody else was that interested in him. And
exactly,
if indeed somebody else was that interested in him, there would have been more teams that came out and said, yeah, we requested him to come and work out for us. And they said no.
Right.
We had all heard he's only going to work out for the Lakers and Suns. We hadn't heard anybody else ask to work him out and then have him say no. It was just he's only going to work out for those two teams.
I think that's the key. If your dream really is your kid to get drafted, you don't care. I mean, obviously his dream was to play with him. We know that, which is a totally legit. Everybody, I'm sure a lot of fathers would have that dream in pro sports.
They're going to be the first ever father-son duo to play in an NBA game together.
Yeah. Now the thing is, if he was
that's cool, that's cool. But that's LeBron's accomplishment. It's not Bronny's.
That's the thing. If
like
it's
it's not the same. It's not the same as Griffey and Griffey.
Right, because Ken Griffey Jr. was a real actual blue chip
best
prospect
guy coming up. Yes,
so my thing is, okay, if a team wanted to take him in the first round, big honor. Guaranteed money. Would LeBron have said no? Would Rich Paul have said no? Okay.
There's no chance.
If the Kings rolled up at 13 and said, we want Bronny, would they have said no? How could you? And if you say no, then your dream isn't actually for your kid to get drafted. It's for your kid to play with you, right? So that's where I think the source of this, the issue some people have is always the source of what some people have with LeBron is that they don't believe he should wield the power he can wield. And he does do that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And he's always done it. And that's what some people have a real problem with. And
I would just contend to that question, Armin, because I 1000% think you're right.
But that happens.
Then who would? Because Stephen A said it at the end of the, like, maybe it was at pick 52 last night. He's like, here's what we're talking about. We're talking about a guy who's a 4-time MVP, 4-time champion, been to 10 finals, wanting to play with his kid and telling him you're going to pick the 6th to last pick of the draft is going to be my son.
The pick that
if
really
anybody in the league is going to be able to do that, and for everybody else in the league to kind of just say, yeah, okay, I get it. There's probably 3 guys, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and maybe Magic Johnson after what he had done for the NBA, right? Like if indeed his son was at that point, but there's just not that many guys that have been that impactful to it.
Would Thanasis be on any team if not for Giannis?
It's a great point. I mean, it happens right here, right? We know that.
Would Robin Lopez have been on a team to start the year if it wasn't for Brooke Lopez signing a $50 million deal with the Bucks? Because I mean, they couldn't find a way to drop his salary quick enough at the deadline.
It happens now. You know, whether there's a function to it, Thanasis is there, keeps Giannis happy, right? That's okay. That's part of the function of. There's a function involved in doing it, right? Maybe this keeps LeBron happy to stay with the Lakers. Eventually, Rich Paul's clients, though, how many does he have that are actually that?
Rich Paul's got some pretty good clients, Armin.
Unnamed in the 608 says, but what about Bronny James? What about the kid who doesn't get drafted because Bronny got drafted? And listen,
doesn't matter.
No. It's a great question. It's a great question. Okay, because a kid who we all think is not deserving of being drafted got drafted and turned into this contrived story of they could have picked him up free agent, Armin. They didn't need to draft him. They were telling every team not to draft him. Why they draft him at 55? They draft him at 55 for the story. Because LeBron wanted the story. His family wanted the story. ESPN wanted the story. NBA wanted the story. It was about the story. What about the guy who did not get drafted because of this contrived, made-up fake story, fairy tale story? What about that? Listen, teams make mistakes all the time. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times they draft guys that aren't good enough to be drafted. And they pass up on guys that are good enough to be drafted.
A lot of
this happens
guys.
All the time.
Yeah.
But it happens by mistake. This happened intentionally.
But it's not actually keeping anyone out of the league. It might keep some kid somewhere from having a moment of being drafted. But going 60 and being drafted at 61 or whatever the last pick is, you're an undrafted free agent. I'm telling you, you have as much chance to make the league as someone drafted in the last spot. Because if you're good enough, you're going to make the team. That's just the reality of it. So
and you can also handpick the situation. Yes. You can listen.
Alex go undrafted.
Alex Sarr was potentially going to be the number 1 overall pick. He said, Atlanta. Yeah, that's a dumpster fire. I'm not working out there for you guys, right? Like, and no one's going to say it as a bad side when the player goes, you know what? That's a bad situation for me. I'm going to hold myself out on that. Like, I completely understand. I'm going to look at it from a pro LeBron prism. But if we're going to talk about, Gary Payton going for his final year with the 06 Heat where you couldn't stand, this is how he wants to finish his career. Congratulations to it. I like, though, John's statement. And this is where sometimes, and I think I'll start learning this more and more as, parenthood continues. LeBron might be thinking this is by far the best position to put his son in, while his son doesn't necessarily think it's the best one. Remember, like the one quote was coming out from him at the combine where it's like, yeah, I know my dad's talked about it a lot. Like, it is what it is. If I get to play with my dad, awesome. If I'm going to be in the NBA, that's all that matters. LeBron also knows more people in the NBA than his son, and knowing you're only going to get coaching if my dad's on the team. I'm only going to get a team that's going to be invested in my development if my dad's on the team.
Sure, yeah. It won't be
like,
just
LeBron's the one that wants to play. Yeah, LeBron wants to play with his son. It also might be the only chance that his son was going to get the best opportunity in the league at 19 instead of having to go around and play in the college circuit where he would have, let's be honest, made much more money than he is going to make in the NBA.
But what makes you an actual better player? What makes you the better player? Would be grinding and having to earn every inch make you the better player, or would paying for the best coaches and the best time in a gym, or with your father at Lakers practice? Would that make you a better player? What would actually make you the better player? I don't know. I think everybody does it a little bit different.
Totally.
I think it's also in the end and this is what's great about sports, it's still what you put into it as a player, right? I mean, you can have great coaches if he doesn't try.
Think of AJ Johnson, the Bucks 23rd overall pick. He could have went to just about any college he wanted to as a 4 to 5-star prospect coming out of high school. He thought his best development was going to be playing with grown men. It probably wasn't because he played like 4 minutes a game. However, you learn something different for it.
He's 160 pounds. Who has a better career? Thanasis, Bronny, which one?
Well, how do you judge what a better career is? Thanasis will make more in this league as a salaried player than Bronny, I believe. That if that's what we consider it as, I don't know.
Playing time, points, production.
Thanasis has already done more than he. It's definitely.
There's no doubt there is not a bigger hype man than Thanasis. Thanasis is the ultimate team.
Yeah, I don't know that Bronny is going to be that juice on the sideline.
I don't think he's going to be that guy.
He's got to be waving that towel big time on the side.
He's not going to be the hype man.
Thanasis was drafted higher than Bronny.
51st overall,
to the Knicks. And this is before
Giannis
was a star. Giannis, what was it before or after Giannis was drafted?
Giannis was drafted in the 2013 draft. Sure, Thanasis went in the 14.
But he was nothing yet, right? Maybe they saw something and thought the genes and maybe Thanasis could be Giannis. I don't know, but Thanasis has had moments in game. People are going to clown me now.
Thanasis was only picked 10 picks behind Nikola Jokic.
Is Thanasis going to get full vesting? Is he going to get 10 years of service and be fully vested?
I'm looking up his service time. He's
got to be close right now.
So you're saying Thanasis is
2019 was his first year with the Bucks. He had one in 16. He had time spent with the Knicks. He had been with the G League since 13-14.
Now we just heard about this time with the Knicks. I think it's 10 games, right? They need to get 10 games to have a credited season.
Signed a 10-day contract with the Knicks.
He played 2 games with the Knicks, so he's played 5 seasons in Milwaukee.
Scoring 2 points in 2 minutes of action against the Phoenix Suns in his debut. Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go with Thanasis.
One thing about Thanasis is, hey, they say, the thing is, when LeBron James' son gets drafted and nobody can say one thing about how talented he is, all of a sudden, all you hear is he's the hardest worker.
He's a good kid.
He's the nicest guy.
He's a good kid, man.
I believe he's a nice kid.
A good character. We drafted him because of his character.
I believe he's a nice guy. When have you guys ever sat on that stage and said they drafted a nice kid?
Yeah.
Never.
Hey,
he's a nice kid.
All I know is Rob Pelinka said the most important thing to look for is hard-working ethic and nice character. So I got a good shot at this next year.
There we go.
I'm trying out for
Put your name in.
That's what you told me, Pelinka. If I'm a nice guy, I'm getting drafted.
They also spent longer on that phone call than any other second-round pick will ever get. And they knew every single moment that ESPN's cameras were capturing all of it. That's for sure.
It made ESPN some money, too.
414-799-1973. We mentioned the other story of the second round yesterday. Just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Could Kyle Filipowski have been a Milwaukee Buck if this story that started leaking out yesterday would have happened? If that would have been out, is that one of the reasons why he's not? And he went 1 pick before the Bucks took Tyler Smith and another Tyler that Armin thought was going to be the 33rd pick for the Milwaukee Bucks. That story and more. It's 9 to noon on the Game.
Duke.
All right, 9 to noon on the game. Fantastic bump back for the moment and for the story that last night just
Great song, huh?
I mean, fully captivated the internet. And so far it's peak internet. The memes are pretty wild. The stories are pretty insane. Duke center Kyle Filipowski. Now, Filipowski was one of the top recruits coming out of high school when he was coming out, right, Armin? Like, he was one of the he was extremely publicized, because I remember him more as a freshman, and then I was kind of more surprised that he didn't go one and done and stayed for a sophomore year. But then when you're going to make some upfront cash like you do at Duke in the NIL world, it makes a little more sense.
Number 4 player in the nation, 5-star, all that. Blue chipper, McDonald's All-American. Yes.
So Kyle Filipowski yesterday goes 32 to the Utah Jazz. Milwaukee Bucks had the 33rd overall selection. Just missed out on the opportunity. Did have the opportunity to draft your boy Tyler Kolek. Didn't draft Tyler Kolek.
You know,
that's a bummer, Armin.
Tyler Smith. So they say the Milwaukee Bucks draft Tyler, and I had that moment. I had that half second of my heart beating.
The bottom of the table just got rocked.
Thought for a second we were getting TK here, but no, it wasn't to be.
How about both Marquette guys, John, getting drafted by the Trailblazers for neither to go to the Trailblazers?
Yeah, to get traded. Yeah,
they both put on Trailblazers hats. One's going to the Knicks, and the other's going to the Suns and Oso Ighodaro.
Yep, great fit, I think, for both. That's
awesome.
Great fit.
That is peak NBA. Like 25 of the 30 picks yesterday all went to different teams than the hat was put on. And then poor Cassidy Hubbard had to interview all these guys like, hey, how excited are you to go to Utah? I'm pretty excited, but I think I'm going to go to Phoenix. Oh, okay.
Why do they
so how much do you think that you're going to be able to impact the Washington Wizards? Well, I think I'm going to be a Spur, so hopefully pretty well. It's just all turned around.
This is why the NBA draft, for the most part, is a joke,
Mm-hmm.
especially on day 2. You can't
there
follow.
Should never be a day
who
2.
is going where. You can never tell who is ever playing where, because they get drafted and then instantly traded, and it's impossible to follow.
It really is. I'm praying they go back to one night next year.
There are still people that believe the Bucks had a chance at Dirk. I mean, that was not what happened.
Yeah, that was not it. That was not the case.
Right, like we didn't draft Dirk and lose him. Like it wasn't. Dallas drafted Dirk. It's just, it frustrates me.
It's a fascinating one. But the Kyle Filipowski story that has continued to captivate the nation. Reportedly, Filipowski, one of the reasons he slid was the draft interviews were less than revealing. He was reportedly kind of closed off, kind of quiet, didn't talk a whole lot. And then his family enters the chat. Kyle Filipowski's brother and mom on social media telling stories about his girlfriend, who is, in their words, grooming their son into the Mormon faith. And she happens to be like 8 to 9 years older than him, happened to, John, be his date to the high school prom when she was graduated from the University of Alabama. And there's a picture and a caption on Instagram that would potentially lead you to believe that she made the statement that they're cousins. So like it is a wild situation.
Wait, I did not hear that side.
Yeah,
they are cousins.
She posts a picture when I think he was like 13 or 14 and said, had a great day hanging out with my cousins. I don't get to see them so much. Thanks guys for the great time.
Yeah, I don't know.
That one's a little more fuzzy.
Yeah, they're getting weird here. Right.
But there's a picture of which he is taking her to prom, and the caption is something like, they're going to stare, make it worth their while. Many people staring. And Kyle Filipowski, this story, he couldn't have landed in a better place. Now he's a member of the Utah Jazz. But if this is the situation, you want to talk about selectively grooming somebody to go to a specific place. Maybe Kyle Filipowski's girlfriend had this way better than Rich Paul even did for Bronny James to end up at 55. She was able to get this guy to Utah.
Right. I know. I guess
I think what people are saying is there have been movies made, and we talked about a lot about movies in this. There have been a lot of movies made about boys and their babysitters. Okay, so we got that kind of first thought on your mind.
Billy doesn't watch
movies. I want to know What age did Kyle Filipowski require a babysitter?
That's another great
That's
question.
the strangest part of this.
Yeah.
She was first introduced to him because she babysat him. Oh my gosh.
I also can't believe this didn't come out until now.
When did this start?
Yeah, when did this start?
Unbelievable.
And why do you need a babysitter when you're in high school?
She was graduated from Alabama when she took him to his senior prom. Okay, well, that's only a couple years, but it begs the question. When did she babysit him?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's a fair question.
There's a lot to
Was
be
she
questioned.
babysitting him in 9th grade?
Maybe 5th grade?
5th grade.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, and I mean,
Grammy's going to be
this.
pissed about this. Grammy's going to be pissed about this, but I'm going to say this too. I don't think it's that out of line. I've already said Grammy didn't care, PG, rated R,
Sure.
whatever.
Yeah.
She also didn't get me a babysitter past like 8 years old.
You could
Just
open your
pass
own
it
Chef
on,
Boyardee. You know what I mean? You could open your own Chef Boyardee cans and eat them. Like, did you need a babysitter? I don't know. This whole thing is crazy. Obviously, there's a lot we don't know. And boy,
I'm scouting out her Instagram right now to try to find some more information.
It's still open?
It is still open.
Is this correct though? Like
Caitlin Hutchinson.
Right.
Well, I mean, she's got pictures posting with Kyle from like a couple of weeks ago. Can't wait for 2024 with you. Can't wait for your high school graduation with you. 414-799-1973. Who said that? Come on.
Man.
A fascinating story that whenever this podcast gets told, or whatever 30 for 30 ends up coming out with this, man, John Shire is keeping a tight ship. I thought Filipowski just fell because of that horrendous injury he had from the court stormer running into him.
Yeah, good point.
I thought that was the issue.
I thought for sure he was dropping, not because he's got questionable off the court kind of situations going on.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing because he was a little Duke soft.
Yeah. Gets freight trained by a youngster running into the crowd. We're like, we can't have this guy as our starting 7-foot center. Instead, it was Utah just praying he fell. 414-799-1973. Only person happier on draft day might have been Russell Wilson's first wife, because that video got circulated around quite a few times yesterday. Hour 3, you want to talk about our best one of the day?
Let's go.
Better be our best one of the week. Round out a Friday, fantastic one with hour number 3 and a Coons Can't Miss. Come on now. It's 9 to noon, statewide on the Game.
What? I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's a good time for the Stacey's Mom song to come through after we're talking the Kyle Filipowski deal.
It was just next in the rotation.
You know, if he's saying like
The bump
Mom,
rotation.
did Stacey come and watch us again? Can we get Caitlin to watch us again?
It was
Honey,
just next.
you're a sophomore in high school. I don't think you really need a baby. No, I just don't feel that comfortable. Just don't feel that comfortable being at home alone. Potentially. I don't know. It's a heck of a story. I hope it continues to get more legs because it is one of those stories that will captivate the nation if we get more information about it. I mean, Armin, you just dug up a 4-minute and 21-second video of Hawk Tua girl yesterday and sent it to us and wanted to bring it for a full second. If we're getting that information tracked down, we can get more information about this Kyle Filipowski story.
The whole interview got leaked. It's actually pretty interesting when you watch the whole interview.
Oh, it was?
Is interesting the right word?
Well,
Did they talk about the presidential debate or
another golf handicap in sports movies?
It's just interesting to watch how the entire thing came together sociologically. You know, how they tried to get interview on the street. They're clearly like, you know, the guy couldn't think of questions to ask. I was captivated for 4 minutes.
Is that how young broadcasters are starting now? Or the
podcast
person on the street?
Yeah,
put it out in the field. See how they handle the YouTube. See how they handle it on their feet.
Pranksters, YouTube influencers. I think that's it.
Does he make money off of it, though?
That's what I started doing in 2018. I was just out there on Bourbon Street, just asking people questions.
Really?
Oh, I love that.
No.
Oh.
If that was the situation, we need all of that audio. But I wonder how this guy makes money off of it because she's obviously profiting it. Like when my man is in the middle of it holding the small microphone, is he like, this is going to be gold. I'm going to cash out on this. Or he's thinking, this chick's nuts. I need her phone number.
Well,
like one of the two.
I might sound a little Zabin-esque right now, but this is not to make money. This kid is not doing these videos to make money. This is what kids do now instead of going and finding a basketball court and playing pickup basketball. This is what kids are doing now instead of going to a park in the summer and playing home run derby. They are walking out on the streets and they are taking videos of themselves doing. I mean, this is
content creation.
It's literally Jackass 20 years later.
Everyone's
that's what it is. Except he's not at a risk of getting hurt because he's just on the street asking ridiculous questions. And their goal is to do this, is to go viral. But the problem is he didn't go viral. She viral.
Does.
Right.
Yeah.
His video goes viral, but it probably doesn't have a way to monetize that yet. Probably doesn't have a way to make any money off of that yet. So as Steve would say, all right, make $100,000, then what?
Yeah, like and I'd love to know if he's getting $100,000.
Well, it's all content. But
she's gonna make money though. Like she's getting paid off of this video.
But if his content he uploaded on his channel, it would have got views. So that's what this is about. A lot of times, a lot of kids grow up just want to be content creators now and get followers. They believe that that's what's virtuous, right? They become content creators, get followers, and then end up on. You see this on Snapchat all the time.
All the time. And I've got so many questions. First off, Saturday night in Nashville, I'm not going to go into the bar. I'm going to sit outside the bar and talk to people that are in the bar. I hate interacting with drunk people when I'm sober. Like that doesn't sound like fun to me. That sounds like I should be one of those people that's walking around the bar. Instead, this kid married to the game. He's sitting out here while everyone else is having a great time on Broadway, John. He's saying, I need to be pounding the pavement to get the next viral video. I would not have been that cat. I knew that this was what I wanted to do.
It's a different era, man.
They're drinking beers over there. I'm going to go drink beers with them, and I'll watch these videos on Snapchat tomorrow morning when I'm letting all of this out.
Is it a business, Armin? It's not business until you make money.
Well,
right?
that's how
it's a hobby before you're making.
It is a hobby.
Yeah,
that's what it is. They're trying to start a business. They're trying to start a business. You're right. It's not. It's like a podcast. When someone starts a podcast, they do it because they have hopes that people will listen and follow them, right? I mean, isn't that what that is?
Yeah, good point. Currently, Schneidman and I are trying to take the hobby side of this and turn it into a business.
Turn it into something.
I mean,
we are Red Hot Tim Scott working on it right now.
When Dave Portnoy started Barstool in 2003, when did he register the thing? Was that a hobby? He's like, I'm going to start my own sports website.
You understand what Barstool once was, right?
Like a pamphlet he used to hand out at games.
It was like a student newspaper that he would hand out, and people started reading it there. And was it at Boston U or was it at Northeastern?
Northeastern sounds more
Yeah.
right.
It's like a gossip blog, right?
Yeah.
Basically, I get it. And that's, I mean,
It started out as basically a newspaper. It
How-
started out as print that he would pass around.
why did Mark Zuckerberg start Facebook? It started as
'Cause he
face
was
smash.
horny.
Rob, basically, he was bored and he was upset at his girlfriend. And he's like, I'm just going to do something funny where we're going to put all the pictures together and have everyone vote on the pictures. That's what it was. I mean, really, it was partly that. Now, did they
Early
think the
iteration
business-
was a 4-page newspaper that Portnoy handed out on subway platforms and street corners in Boston. The paper was meant to appeal to young men and rejected political correctness. Early advertisers in the paper included offshore betting websites, which were operating illegally in the United States of America. Now that's grinding through.
I mean,
That is grinding through.
That is grinding
entrepreneurship.
through, but I do need to know how much of that has reached urban legend status. How much of that did he actually do? Was he actually standing on subway platforms for hours and
Sure.
hours and hours and hours? Or did he just walk through the quad and say, hey, you look cool, read this. Hey, you look cool, read that.
Well, he also
Good
says
question.
that it was after college. Portnoy moved to Boston, began working at Yankee Group, an IT market research firm, and then in 2004 left it and then started Barstool. At first, the paper struggled, but gained traction in 2004 when Portnoy began placing photos of women in bikinis on the front page of the newspaper. In
Huh,
2007, Barstool expanded to a blog.
Hey, this might help me get some eyes on this. How about
Yeah.
that? Basically,
Hey, no one's actually grabbing these cards.
Right.
Maybe I should put the girl on the front of it, said the same guys that are handing out trading cards on the Las Vegas Strip.
Just saying that, like,
No one's calling this phone number. Maybe we should put somebody on it.
Let's put
Snap,
a
snap.
picture on this card. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Tina? No.
No,
What about
no.
Lisa? No. Actually, pick somebody who doesn't work here. Put that picture on there. Let's sell that.
Let's get the babysitter. 414-799-1973. Another story that popped up here yesterday, guys, was the NFL Sunday Ticket. Now, this is Florio's baby.
Oh,
Florio wants this so badly. And somehow, if this continues in court that is not run by the NFL, people are saying that this is going to go the way of the patron. Now, $4+ billion is what the first court judge has deemed the NFL liable to pay subscribers from 2011 to 2023 of NFL Sunday Ticket. There's multiple different layers to it. There's so many different court appeals. They're going to first go to a normal judge and try to reduce the award. As Andrew Brandt said, if no luck there, they'll go to the Ninth Circuit Court. If no luck there, they'll go to the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court, yeah.
All that this says is, John, these rebates that people have been holding on to for the last 12 years for NFL Sunday Ticket, it's going to be a while before you get any $7.94, I think, from the NFL. It's going to be a while till the damages come through.
That's a lot of B's out there. 4.5 B's.
So I'm getting
I mean,
rich now as a fan, right?
Well, 4.5 billion. How many people subscribe to Sunday Ticket? Do you think it was 4.5 billion?
Good question.
No.
Probably not.
No.
Yeah.
No. So where would we land this as people that have subscribed at one point in time or paid for a Sunday Ticket?
The breakdown that I got, if it was you paid for it one time, it would be about $7.85.
Because there's 2.4 million residential subscribers.
And a large portion of the money is going to go to businesses
Bars.
and bars that had first subscribed to it.
Which is kind of cool,
but
actually.
But they were getting crushed. because
Crushed,
They were
yes.
having to pay a different fee
Right.
for the Sunday Ticket than what people at their homes were having to pay. They had to pay a much larger fee. You know, the funny part about this is I might get one $7.50 thing, but
Let's go.
Maybe one. I might get one because
Yep.
I did pay for it one year because I forgot to cancel it from the year before.
Same
So,
boat, yes.
My hack to get the Sunday Ticket, which I didn't need the Sunday Ticket because I was either playing or working on Sunday, so I didn't need it. But in the rare case that we played a Thursday game or a Monday home game or I had a bye week,
Want to watch
I
the
wanted to
games.
be able to watch whatever hell game I wanted to watch.
Right,
So
right.
3 times a year I would get to use Sunday Ticket about. So I wanted to actually have the opportunity to pick the game I wanted to watch.
Well, I
So
mean,
what I do, what you used to have to call them up.
Oh,
You used to
yeah.
have to say,
Yep.
Oh,
I'm canceling Sunday Ticket. Why are you canceling Sunday Ticket? Because you guys suck. Your prices are too, and you just rip them for 30
Astronomical.
seconds.
Yes.
And then they would say, okay, well, how do you like $100? No, you know what? Like, I don't want it. I don't want it. And you know what? I don't even want the premium package anymore. I want everything reduced.
I
And
just
I
want
might
done
be
with this.
I might even be switching to Comcast.
Yeah.
We'll give you Sunday ticket for free. Done.
Done. Deal. Thank you.
There you
Yo.
go.
Let's go. Every year it's the same phone call right there about the start of August. I don't want Sunday ticket anymore. In fact, I'm thinking about switching to cable. Blah, 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 blah. Couple minutes later, I got a couple loyalty discounts and Sunday ticket for free.
Yep.
That's what you had to do.
So are you going to track down your $7 rebate now? Are you like the guy that takes the rebate in the bottom of the receipt and sends it in? Because my mom,
I always do.
Do
do you know how many rebates I've filled out in my life that I'm sure I haven't gotten a check for?
just I'm holding you
But
accountable
if you
for my
do-
$7 right now.
But if you do get the check and it's for $20 or something like that, it's like finding a 20 in your pocket.
It's a good
like
feeling.
Free money, baby.
It's literally like pulling a pair of jeans out of the, putting them on in the morning, reaching your hand in the pocket and pulling out a 20. That's about how good the feeling is.
Especially when it's at Menards and you already know, son of a gun, I'm going to end up having to go there this week.
Yeah.
Because I already realized that there's a leak going on underneath the kitchen sink. Menards is the easiest rebate place.
And
Always hammering that.
They count on people not going through the effort to fill out those rebates and get the money back, right?
I always fill it out, but I don't think I always get it.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know
always
that I
fill
always
out.
actually send it in. I know I
and
fill
I
it
don't
out.
keep
Yep.
track. You need a spreadsheet to keep track of these rebates, and I don't have a spreadsheet. What's even worse than that is the filling out of everything for a warranty. If I bought it, I don't get the warranty, but if I take 45 minutes to fill out this paper that
Right.
has my eye color, hair color,
Yep.
social security number, and date of birth on it, then potentially I could get a warranty from you. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, that was the Traeger situation for me. I'm like, hold
Oh,
on.
really?
This might be the one that I'm going through. 38 minutes later, my leg was asleep as I was sitting on the porcelain throne. And I'm like, okay, I think I finally have the warranty.
It's unbelievable. They make it so difficult to get these warranties. And if you buy it, you should get the damn warranty. It's crazy how much work they make you go through. But speaking of pleasant surprises, did you guys ever buy anything on the internet, forget that you bought it, and then
and then it comes to the house.
4 or 5
Yeah.
days later it shows up and you're like, what's this?
Yeah, you've had that. Yeah, but you're.
Oh man, I got a new head cover. Are you kidding me? This is sweet. Where did I pick this? I totally forgot I bought that.
I got a good feeling that's
Cost
going to
money.
happen over the next couple of days because Wednesday night, I thought I had fallen asleep like right after I got home.
Sure.
Apparently I was scrolling on Amazon for a little while. So that might happen to me with over the next couple of days because when you're potentially drunk online shopping, it is a dangerous beast. Wait, this isn't even money. I'm not actually buying it right now.
That's
I don't have to give
hilarious.
anybody any cash. And I didn't even have to know where my wallet was to be able to do it.
Hey, it's in bed. I can't wait to see what you bought. I really can't.
I'm excited. And frankly, I'm just excited to know that when that Amazon driver, John, is coming to the door 2 or 3 times a day, holy cow, one of them's for me.
How about UPS, Ben? He goes, do you know how many times I hear that a day? Somebody hands somebody a package. I forgot that I bought that. That's awesome, man. I'm so excited. Yeah, I believe it. Because it happens to me quite frequently.
As long as there's no assembly required, I'm pretty excited about it.
Isn't that
Wait,
just
I have
great?
6 to 8 hours in front of me of this. Awesome. Glad we bought this online.
Well, that's why I love truck drivers. I just love chopping it up with them and hanging out with them.
Yeah, you do.
It's
Salt
great.
to the
Yeah,
earth,
you do. Yeah.
great people.
High five.
Hitting the
high five 'em.
pavement.
I high five mailmen all the time.
I heard you're
Between them
tipping
and
them too.
Roosevelt shirt guys. I mean, you're talking about 2 of the greatest groups to party with ever.
I hope they're hitting up Potawatomi Casino tonight. We better give them a can't miss if the Roosevelt Shirt Crew is hitting Potawatomi Sportsbook today.
Single file.
Help them cover some of those
I
travel costs.
can watch it right now. 61 Roosevelt shirt guys
In this-
walking.
At the soda machine.
Single file
To the
all
soda
the way
machine.
through.
To the soda machine.
That single file thing cannot be real.
Yeah,
thought,
up
That cannot be real.
Single
I thought
file.
Josh said it. I swear I thought he said it.
Up the escalator, down the escalator. Josh is the leader. You got people jumping in thinking it's a Congo line at
See if
the
they
end.
can
Just start
circle all
following
the
them
way around.
And all and when somebody makes a turn, it's like the snake game. If you get stuck inside those 2 bars, you can't ever
You're
get
done.
out.
You gotta
just
go home.
in there. I can see 61 of them making their way down to Potawatomi to Sportsbook and having the time of their lives because there you go. This is how they
Talk
do
about
it.
it.
left, right,
We're bad people.
left,
You know
right.
what? You know what?
Now everybody's
Taking the feet
doing color pop. Boom.
They're definitely having more fun though than us. I gotta say that. I mean, these guys are comfortable in their own skin. They're having a great time. Sometimes you kind of long for that. You know, they're loving life. You know, they're having a great
I
time.
don't know I don't know that you're longing for it. It's obvious you were. You just tried to crash their party yesterday, and then they wouldn't let you in. Of course, you're longing to be a part of it.
Maybe if I wore the shirts more often, I'd have that same great feeling all the time. Like we're just having a party. You know, full.
Better
Roosevelt
thing is
shirt,
if you would have,
sunglasses, and
John, if
beer.
he would have been wearing the Roosevelt shirt yesterday, squatted up at Summerfest, gets welcomed in by a couple. Then you try to meet up with him tomorrow,
Oh, then Josh
wearing
gets
the
salty.
same one.
Oh yeah, I only
Then
have
they're
one
like,
shirt.
dude,
You're out.
he's not a real one. Then you really may have gotten shamed. You may have gotten egged at that point.
What if I became best friends with all of them? Josh got salty. These are my friends.
Oh, that's fair. That
Yeah.
also could have happened. Sorry, we apologize for
All right.
interrupting.
So what's the
I don't know.
I'll be honest with you. If these guys are walking single file at the Brewers game, I'm going to be so happy. I might just roll over at that point. Like if I could watch a crew of 60 people
gonna take a
walking
long
single
time.
file at that point.
It's 61. It's 60 guys
61,
plus
sorry.
Josh, 61. If you could take video of that, mash it up with the Huck Tool Girl and some other sound, and now you have your own viral video. And then Armin, then you could put that on 9 Streets Twitter, and we could start monetizing that.
what
We
I'm
could
saying?
turn it from a hobby to a business.
hobby to a
Just like you
business?
said.
Hobby to a business.
I made my dream a reality.
Oh my god!
And then you can make your way down to Potawatomi
Oh.
Hotel and Casino, because the sports book, it fits 61 plus some. In fact, 200 can have a space to sit down there at the sports book and enjoy the big screen you'll ever see in your life. 2,000 square foot LED curved screen is what it is. And if you have not been down there yet, you need to make your way down there. Josh would blow their minds if he takes them down there to the sports book
Big time.
after the game. What do you think they would pick? Do you think they'd go MLB? You think they'd go WNBA? What about a little Tour de France? Could they do that?
I don't
Rocket
think
Mortgage?
cycling is probably the thing. I don't think that's probably their favorite hobby. I'd probably go baseball. I think they could all get into a Brewers money line or
Well,
something. Or
You can bet Olympic sports, and one of the Olympic sports is breaking. That's breakdancing. Did you guys know about this?
don't look like a lot of breakdancers.
You can do it though. I'm just saying. So I don't know if that's kind of the party vibe that they'd be betting on.
I don't know.
You can.
So, Billy, you correct me if I'm wrong. Alex Pereira, UFC. By the way, the fights are the best things to watch down here at the sports book.
Mhm.
They are an absolute riot, and you have a good one this weekend, a rematch between
303.
Pereira and Prash Chakrasraska. I can't say it, Billy. Can you say
Holy
it for me?
cow! No chance
Prohaska?
whatsoever.
Is it
Prochaska. It's a
Prohaska.
rematch. It's a
Yes.
rematch title fight between Pereira and Prochaska. It was supposed to be, wasn't this supposed to be McGregor?
This was supposed to be McGregor Chandler
And he-
that got postponed, I believe.
and,
Yes.
and he broke his pinky toe.
Mm-hmm.
See, those
Just
toes
like
are
Rogers.
serious. Those-
Just like Rogers walking around the living room and kicked
And the golfer.
Ottoman.
Yeah. And who's the golfer that had the toe infection?
John
That's
Rahm.
John Rahm.
So I'm
John
saying,
Rahm.
all right. So don't, all toes matter.
Are we sure these are all legit, or is COVID toe rearing its ugly head?
I don't know.
Great
I'm
question.
not a doctor.
Great question. Interesting. We still haven't heard from Aaron yet. I mean, this could be a COVID toe situation. Maybe he's trying to learn some more information upon it.
Don't know.
I'm
I
gonna
like
go-
Alex though this weekend, by the way.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
But he's a favorite, so I want to win some money. So I'm going to put a little parlay here together.
Ooh, okay.
Brewers Cubs here tonight. I'm
Come
taking
on.
Brewers money line. Orioles Rangers. I've seen enough out of the Rangers the last couple of days, and I've seen enough out of the Orioles the last couple. I'm going Orioles in that one money line.
Money line. Okay.
So both teams are favorites. Both teams are money line.
Friday money lines.
Let's
right?
go.
Friday
lines.
money lines.
Yeah.
Friday money line Brewers. Friday money line Orioles. Like both of those. Orioles are taking the Rangers. We got Council and the Cubs tonight. Oh, I'm excited about
Hope
that.
you're
one.
ready,
and then tomorrow,
Craig.
and then tomorrow, Alex Pereira money line in that one. You put all three of those money lines together, 429 plus 429.
All right, let's
Ooh,
go.
shooting that.
Okay.
That's a nice little parlay, a nice little way to celebrate the weekend with the Roosevelt boys, Josh. So
go.
hopefully you're out there listening, taking them down to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Sportsbook and tell them to hit that Coons Can't Miss parlay. They'll They'll love you if you pick it and win.
And also, two of those picks, Orioles and Hiera, are getting better values than at other books. If you're looking at those favorites, they're getting better values by a few cents. So
did you ever notice
very interesting
on the Potawatomi Casino Hotel Sportsbook site, you can actually check out the Asian lines?
I did for certain sports.
What?
Yeah. For like soccer, right? Isn't that
one? Oh, I love that.
Well, soccer's a big one over there.
Yeah.
So you can check out the soccer and you can see if your lines you're getting are as good or better than the Asian lines. By the way, I got to admit, we lost yesterday. Can't miss loss yesterday.
Yeah, well.
We had a foolish red card in the 17th minute.
America's got to step up our game here.
You can't even touch the back of a player's head.
That's a red card.
Can't even touch it.
Red
card. Is there? You talk about a penalty.
He didn't just touch it.
If you thought pass interference was a severe penalty, 50-yard spot foul, if you thought that was a severe penalty, if you thought driving a ball into the white stakes and having to take stroke and distance was a severe penalty, there's nothing more severe of a penalty in all sports than the red card. The dreaded red card where you're kicked out of the game and your team doesn't even get to put somebody in for you.
Yeah, you're host.
You're down a man. That killed the U.S. all night. The problem was it killed
me in FIFA Online so many times.
Could you imagine?
It was egregious, John. It had nothing to do with the play. It had nothing to do with soccer.
But a red card, he gave him a shove a little bit to the back of the head.
It had nothing to do with anything. It was just egregious. You can't do that.
They had to go to video to find out if it was a flagrant enough to do this, and that was bad.
I think it was a legit red card. I just think it was a stupid thing to do. Can't we be mentally tougher, U.S.?
My man seemed to kind of know that he had bleeped up.
Yeah,
he trotted off the field like, wow.
You just let
I may have just
let your whole team down by doing that, man. Come on.
Maybe a whole country. Because now they got Uruguay. Yeah. They're not beating Uruguay.
Uruguay's tough. Uruguay's tough. You think Panama was tough? We only beat Bolivia by 2, who's terrible.
When does America play again?
Let me just check when that game is. I might want to think
because I've heard the soccer has been good, so I need to watch the soccer here.
It has been good. It has been really good.
I feel like I need to be more informed if America's playing.
Copa America. US
I just found out watching the McAfee show yesterday that we lost to Japan
Monday
in football.
Night.
By like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, but I don't believe in all that. I mean, we lost them, but as our best play,
it was a fact.
No,
we lost.
I know, but as our best
by 3 touchdowns to Japan.
Are our best playing in that?
I don't care if they're our best.
It shouldn't matter.
No,
it should. Shippensburg should be able to go over there and win.
Thank you. And if anybody's going to stand up for the fact that there's a lot of D3 kids out there, sorry, D3 kids should be able to beat the kids from Japan. I apologize. The U20s, what are we doing here?
I don't know. We could be massively disrespecting the Japanese football.
Hand raised in air. I'm gonna disrespect the Japanese in football. Come on. We need to figure this out, guys.
I can't believe
this is our sport. It says American football on it. We can't be losing.
We have XFLs. We have USFLs. We have all kinds of other things going on here. We can't send those guys.
Can't send anybody? Kirby Smart. There's not one kid there that you think could go and help Team USA?
I bet nobody knew about
it. Luke Fickell. Hunter Woller's not going to be able to help Team USA?
Listen, now that they know about it, we're probably going to send a great team over there and win by 600. Okay, we're the best in football. Relax. American football.
Well, I also found out we didn't win the FIBA World Cup last year in basketball.
Well, but we know the world's been better now in basketball in the last 20 years. So we
need to assert some dominance.
Canada's going to cook everybody.
Because you told me that the Olympics are going to be fun to watch, and the U.S. is just going to shatter everybody.
I like to think that we'll be the favorite.
I like to be a blanket patriot during this and just yell USA.
Let's do it.
But are we going to actually be good? Or like John said, am I going to just be massively disrespecting other countries?
Well, we gotta be able to work hard. I mean, we can't just roll out of here and think we're going to win.
I expect to roll the helmets out and roll everybody by 30. Sorry.
I think we have about as big a discrepancy in football with other countries as we do women's basketball.
Yes, it should be at least.
Be. I agree with you, but Marvin Hagler once said it's hard to get out of bed when you're in silk sheets or something like that. Isn't that what he said?
You don't even know if it was what he said. So I'm going to bet the under that we all do. All right, 414-799-1973. This weekend on your home for Green Bay Packers football, going to be one of the greatest moments that we remember very, very fondly on this radio program. One of our favorites to bring up for our guy, John Kuhn. It'll come at you coming up right after this. It's 9 to noon on the Game. 9 to noon on the game. John Kuhn with all of you on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line. I'm Billy Schmidt. Armin Sarian's right here in the iHeart Megaplex studios. Armin Sarian is the executive producer of the Green Bay Packers radio network, flagship station right here on. Sorry, did I step on anyone's toes there? Executive producer of the Packers radio network, right? You put that on your resume.
Sure, yeah.
You better. Should. You're pressing all the right buttons, making sure that thing broadcasts. All right. Make sure you put something on there. So you were not the executive producer of the Packers radio network in 2013 when this week's Packers Prime first aired. No, instead you were, Armin, I would assume, much like me, watching, anxiously awaiting the return of Aaron Rodgers on December 29th to the Packers lineup when our guy, John Kuhn, made one of the most famous plays. Be airing coming up at noon. The Cobb beats Conti division clinching NFC North title game in 2013. And there's obviously so much to discuss from the game, and it's probably the story I would assume you tell most on these airwaves, but like that lead up to that game and obviously the play in the final minute that wins the division. That whole lead up to you guys getting Aaron back for that final game of the regular season in 2013 is almost one of my more favorite parts of the story, because you had kind of touched on it that it felt like you guys thought you were going to get him back a couple of different times throughout that before that final week of the season.
Yeah. It's funny. You said the Packers playback this week from 2013. And I thought to myself, man, that wasn't a great year. What game?
Yeah.
What are we finding?
Sometimes I forget what happened at the end of that year. Just a couple crazy. We did have actually. You could have picked another game from 2013. You could have picked us going down to Dallas and having the largest deficit comeback for a Packer team. Right?
Yeah.
I think it was 26 points, 25, 26 points.
26 points. Yep.
Yeah. So you could have potentially picked that one as another good game. But I forgot. That was the year Aaron came back in such dramatic fashion, and it was probably over dramatic, and we probably made it a little over dramatic. He and Randall had missed several weeks in a row where we thought they were going to be ready to come back and play, but Russ Ball and
because he had Randall had a broken leg, correct?
Yeah, Randall, I wasn't quite sure if it was broken or just really severely strained, but we were playing in Baltimore earlier in that season, and that's when the hits to the head became illegal. Right around that time, so everybody started going low on receivers, and I remember that was a big talking point after that game was going low on wide receivers going across the middle, and now everybody's going to start losing knees and legs and everything else instead of taking hits up high. So you got Randall, you got Aaron coming back, and you got a division on the line because nobody was able to win the NFC North that year. Detroit kept blowing games at the end of the season. Chicago kept blowing games at the end of the season. Heck, that was Justin Tucker coming out party. I believe he had like a 58-yarder to beat the Lions in Detroit just a week before that to keep our season alive.
Oh, that's amazing.
Man, that was, and it was one of those situations where the season at some point, fan-wise, it felt lost. When Aaron was hurt, you didn't think there'd be a chance for a playoff spot. Then all of a sudden there was, and all of a sudden it was this game against the Bears for the division at Soldier Field, and it was just electric. I think what people remember that last play, John, a lot, but people forget about that game was there were a lot of weird. Remember the weird touchdown early in the game at Jared Boykin picking up the fumble,
picks up the fumble on a touchdown.
Didn't think it was that, and then the last drive itself, the touchdown of Cobb was on a 4th and 8. But there was like 2 or 3 4th down conversions, if I'm remembering correctly, that had to be converted. So just, man, that was a great memory. No doubt about it.
It also ends up being just before Cutler signs a massive new deal in Chicago, in which I think he ended up playing like 3 years of. 2 or 3 years of a 7-year deal that he signs right there. You guys kept them out of the playoffs. I think it was like the 6th time of 7 years that the Bears end up missing the playoffs. The only time that they're there, it's 2010, and then they hand the George Halas Trophy over to the NFC champion Green Bay Packers.
So you blocked Peppers, obviously the big block, and then can you imagine he was going to be your teammate soon? That's the other thing that is wild.
That offseason, he becomes your teammate after you cut down right at his knees. And that best part of the video, John, is him reaching, still thinking that he's about to trip up Aaron after you just eliminate and delete his knees.
So, there was a lot of things that came from that, right? That was the starting of the breakup of the Chicago Bears.
Big time. Yes.
That's when they started really breaking them up and started their whole reboot.
Trustman gets fired the next year. Yep.
Brought Julius Peppers to Green Bay. They started dismantling their defense, and then was a big acquisition for us. I told you this, Armin. I can remember laying in bed that offseason, and I got an alert. It was like 7:00 in the morning. Julius Peppers signing with the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. I had to rub my eyes. And did I read that correctly? There's no way.
Yeah, that's wild.
We did, and awesome teammate, and some really good defenses and teams that he was on with us there as well. You talk about a guy, man, what a career, Julius Peppers.
He had like multiple Hall of Fame careers.
Multiple.
Yes. Like 2 full different instances in which you could put him into the Hall of Fame for what he ended up
with different teams, like the Panthers years, the Bears years, the Packer years. Absolutely impressive.
The Panthers years again. Like, I mean, he goes back to the Panthers after the stop here in Green Bay, and then I think they go to the Super Bowl. Like, that's one of the other weird parts of that for them to continue, that he was just continue to be a part of good teams. You had mentioned that he was one of your favorite teammates of your entire career, Julius Peppers, right?
Yeah, he was. Again, he to me is what I heard stories about Reggie. He didn't talk a lot.
Yeah.
But when he did talk, he got everybody's attention immediately. Got everybody's attention and locked in to listen to what Peppers had to say. Not a whole lot of people like that. Charles was like that.
Mm-hmm.
Pep was like that.
Yeah, the list is very, very short.
That's probably it in Green Bay.
That was the quickest I had ordered a jersey that I can remember. Like once that news came down and the 56 happened.
56.
Like, you got to have one.
It felt weird seeing him in 56, but I was happy about it.
Because it was also right after Nick Barnett. And your boy was a big Nick Barnett fan when I was little.
Yeah, no, that's legit. But I thought of Peppers as 90 so much. So see him in 56. Yeah. I don't know.
Looks slimmer, though.
I also love, John, about that. You make the block, but you're also the first one to get down there to catch Randall after he
you got to celebrate. Are you kidding me?
I was like, what kind of route did John take to be the first one, get off the ground after the block, to be the first one down there to pass everybody up? Man, I was like, your boy's excited at that point. Which I would have been. Anybody would have been, right?
Armin, it was the 3rd, 4th down we converted on that drive.
That's amazing.
There was one to Jordy. It's amazing when you think about that.
There was a 4th down and 1 fullback dive too that was converted at our own 20-yard line.
I was gonna say, wasn't it like a 14-play drive to amass like 30 yards before that play ends up going down?
They don't talk about that 4th and 1.
No, and you didn't either.
But we did. But at least we're talking about it.
So make sure that you catch some of that part coming up this weekend at noon. Doug Russell does a great job tying these together. Also, Wayne and Larry will interlude in and out, because this is the Packers Prime this year are the choice cuts of Wayne and Larry. So their favorite broadcasts, they will be leading you into what they were thinking at the exact time. So really fun broadcast coming up at noon this weekend for Packers Prime. And always good to listen to the Packers beat the Bears on your home for Packers football. Soon returning here to 97.3 The Game. We round third, head for home. It's 9 to noon. Coon, Billy, and Armin, you got to stay wide on the game. 9 to noon on the game. Wrapping things up here today. Just had this come through as the U.S. looks to go win gold in the Olympic Games for men's basketball.
Let's go get
better
it,
win
boys.
gold. All right, let's be honest.
Watch out for Canada.
The squad
dude.
we're sending out there, they better win gold. They're not even going to have Andrew Wiggins on there.
Yeah, but I mean, look, they got Shea, they got Zach Edey, they have Lou Dort. I mean, they got some
Not
players.
concerned.
Fair. Shea's good though, man.
Come
on.
Okay, yeah. But the U.S. select
SGA.
team is the group that will practice and scrimmage against that national team. 3 guys on the roster that just got announced with Wisconsin ties. Now, I think you might be able to guess the first one.
Tyler.
Not Tyler Hero.
With
Tyler
Wisconsin
Hero
ties.
is not
Oh,
involved.
wait, because you got to be a certain. You give it younger, right?
Brandon Pajemski,
Yes, the rookie.
who was a rookie with the Golden State Warriors, had a fantastic rookie year, averaging just under 10 points a game, shooting 45+%. Then 2 guys that went to the University of Wisconsin, Nigel Hayes and your boy Micah Potter on the USA men's select team. They will be alongside.
I mean, great. That's great.
Good for them,
I'm
right?
happy they're there.
Alongside
But I
guys like
wouldn't-
Jalen Duren, Langston Galloway, who I haven't thought of in years.
What's the rules of picking this? I'm just curious.
That is a fantastic question.
Because that's a wide gap there from Nigel to Micah Potter.
I would never have guessed Micah Potter. No disrespect to Micah or his family. I just
What?
never.
Do you have to
Cooper
say
Flagg is also on this as well.
I
So you're
guess so.
going from 19 to Nigel Hayes, who was playing in the
30?
Final Four, and he's 30. He's got to be 30.
Micah?
No,
Oh,
Nigel Hayes.
Nigel.
Nigel Hayes
Micah's
got to
the
be close to
weirdest
30.
collection.
I think
of-
Micah's old too. He was 24 when his last year at Wisconsin, wasn't he?
You're right. He's probably 26 now.
The select
Oh,
team
what's
features
up?
a roster of 12 current NBA or G League players, 2 players with NBA or G League international basketball experience, 1 incoming
26.
college freshman with USA basketball experience.
Micah's on a 2-way with Utah and the Salt Lake City Stars. Okay. All right. I didn't expect that, but let's go.
And
get
Nigel
him.
Hayes Davis, by the way, is what it is going by nowadays, was, I believe, the player of the year in the Turkish league that he is in.
Well, now this is not the Olympic team. This is the select team.
Correct.
Right.
This is the team that I believe is practicing against the Olympic team
Yes.
throughout, just getting them ready. But this is the one that infamously then beat the one Olympic team, correct?
They beat the Dream Team.
Beat the
College
Dream
team.
Team. The
And
college team beat the Dream Team.
In the practice, yes. Chuck Daly threw it. That's what
And
Michael
who
Coach
did-
K said.
Michael
And-
Jordan
and-
was on that team?
Oh, piss Jordan.
Yeah, but
Holy
Coach,
cow, he lost the
hot.
game?
Coach K said that Daly sat Jordan a lot of the game. Listen, this is a
Oh, okay,
sanitized
sorry,
version
sorry,
of
okay,
history.
yeah,
I don't
okay.
know. They did.
Sanitized version of it.
Well, there's apparently Hurley and Weber cut him up, and
Kind
then
of like that Hal Barstool started story,
Well,
right? Sanitized version.
It was
Well,
somewhere in
the
there.
story. The story was that Chuck threw the game. I don't know how that happens, but he Chuck through the game to get their attention. Then the next day they played him again and won by a lot. So there you go. I mean, it's a cool story, but I just don't want our Olympic team to roll out of there thinking they're going to win. That's what we thought in 04. I will never forget 04.
No, that's exactly what I want our Olympic team to think. That
Okay,
you
Billy.
run in and
Okay,
dominate.
Billy. Well,
you should.
That's what Carmelo, LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Allen Iverson, Stephon, Carlos Boozer all thought in 04. And then we pick up the bronze. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying.
This respecting your opponent is admirable. But I think there needs to be a little bit more irrational confidence.
Okay, maybe you're right.
I think we need more irrational
agree.
confidence going
No, I
through here.
agree.
Right? Like, John, I love this. Respect everyone's family.
it's not
They're
about that.
great.
It's not
They're
about
going to
the
be
respect.
awesome. They got great players too. The game's we need to assert some dominance here.
This has nothing to do with like the Olympic ideal or respecting your opponent. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying I don't want us to be overconfident and not be hungry and ready. That's all I'm saying. I want to win the gold, man. I want us to win the gold.
It sounds like you're cushioning it okay if they don't, though.
He is.
Right? Okay.
No,
is that
it's
not
not.
what I'm
No.
that's what I'm
He's
hearing?
setting us
No.
up for a crash landing.
Yeah, it almost sounds like you think we're gonna finish fourth.
No, it's not okay. It's not. I don't want that. I don't want to be crushed when I think we were going to win gold.
Well, get your hopes up.
Fine.
Get your hopes up and get your irrational confidence going. That's your Quick Trip take of the day. Brought to you by Quick Trip. Need something for dinner tonight? Don't cook. Stop by your local Quick Trip. Pick up a freshly prepared, absolutely delicious take-home meal. You might even find
Because I know how Americans sometimes feel about Olympic competition. I know a lot of people are like, it doesn't matter. It's the Olympics. Why is Giannis playing? So just there are going to be some hungry players and teams out there that are hungry to win for their flag. I hope we are too. That's all I'm saying, man. I hope we are
They
too.
should have no chance.
They should.
They should have no chance. John, we need to get this guy some more confidence over the weekend.
Let's run it up on him too. If we win,
win by 40, win by 80.
Run it up. I agree.
Just like Japan apparently did to our U20 football team. Just ran it up on them.
Still can't believe it.
Thank you.
But Armin's okay with that.
He's fine. He's fine. Hey, man, we got to respect all these teams. We got to respect all these countries. No, it is American football.
Was our best.
We created the freaking game. We should dominate everybody.
Yeah.
But apparently we're not. All right. You know what this radio show is? Dominating everybody else. And we're going to start doing that again coming up next week on Monday. John, great work this week. Fantastic job. Armin, great work this week. Fantastic job. Yeah. I'm going to try to be better coming up on Monday. Nooners, fantastic week. Way to represent at Nooner Day 5. And we'll talk to y'all on Monday. Mike Heller Show's next.